life. And hello, everyone.
Welcome.
First of all, I want to say hello to everybody who is going to see the video maybe later or is going to be live here with us. We have today one of the special YouTubers, creators, filmmaker, a writer. He's a guy who's from the community. I see him starting. He's one of the, I think, the best YouTubers we have for the electro boards in the guns rule. He comes from Australia. He does his videos fantastic, and he tried to help all of us. And it's very, 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 very important to have a special person here in the channel. Hello, Jay Boston is here too. He's from Australia. He's one of the great YouTubers from all of us. I want to thank everybody. I want to just say I think there is not so many words for me to not enough words for me to talk about Andre. Andre, thank you very much for you to be in my channel. And
muy poco español, ¿quieres, por favor? I won't speak in Spanish. You got no subtitles, have you? Thank you, Nelson. Thank you so much for having me on. This is awesome. We took a while to schedule this because of my schedule too, but this has been such a great privilege. Jay Boston, hey, nice to see you, Jay. Another Aussie on board, fantastic. Jay's got an amazing channel and does some incredible stuff. I think Scott Davies is in the house too, possibly. Yep. I'm just so humbled and appreciative to be on today and have a chat to you, Nelson. And really straight away I want to say congratulations to you, what you're doing on the podcast, and you're bringing this as a central hub, one of many central hubs, Eastgate's UK, doing this something very similar. I host some of the stuff they've done. It is amazing. This is so good, and I'm loving what you're doing. And not only just this, but also the writing, the whole ambassadorship you're doing to this industry is just awesome. So yeah, it's fantastic. So thank you so much for having me on today. I suppose I also want to shout out to all my subscribers in the UK, through Europe. Thanks so much for everyone. Thanks for being patient. I'm pretty slack on the comments. I will get back. I'm starting now to do a bit more comments. I'm easing off on the high production and doing more quality stuff every 3 weeks. So yeah. Now I suppose you got some questions, Elson? Do you want to start with the question? Or
yes, let's start with the questions. Like always, my first question to everybody: how that everything started for you for this?
Okay.
Like do you start it as before? For me, the big question: do you start as a skater? Because I know that you make surf and everything. How do you came then to the electro environment?
Industry? Great. Look, I think first we got to go back in the time machine. We got to go way back. Let's just hop in the time machine. We're going to go back to 1969. The Vietnam War, the Tet Offensive was on. I got my first skateboard at that time, and it was a I've got it here. Well, this is not the actual board, but this is very similar to what I was riding back then. Now, if you ever worry about your skateboards or concerned about safety, have a look at these are steel wheels. They actually spark when you're riding. They look so cool, and they're awesome for sliding. Now, you got to understand, look at the size of that. That's just crazy. That's what we were riding. Because you remember back in 1969, this is prior to Frank Nasworthy, who invented the mixture for the urethane and changed the whole dynamics, Nelson, of skateboarding as we know today, because urethane made it all possible. Without that, you just had no hope in hell. So here we go. That was what I had initially. So I got into skateboarding along those lines.
That is very special. Yeah, that is the first time I see something so special like this.
Oh, thank you. Well, this is called a flyback, and these were very popular in '61. I picked up one of these similar to this. This is not the one I
Mm-hmm.
rode, but
Mm-hmm.
I got my one I rode here. So I started off on that, and I started riding those around. And you got to remember they look quite small because really skateboarding in its infancy was pretty much for kids. It was all just children. Like and you don't get a 30-year-old man who's 100 kilos riding a skateboard back in '69, but you did have the surf. I mean, the guys along Malibu and stuff were surfing on the big long boards with wheels on roller skates. So they were surfing when the surf was flat. So skateboarding came in at 56 or 1940 to be the first ones. So by the time 70 came in, the urethane wheel came in, and this is I'm digressing a little bit here, but I want to just showcase a few things for the guys to show them some incredible history, because our sports has come from the history of skateboarding, and I was very lucky to be alive at the time when I had a Bain skateboard. This is a Golden Breed. A Golden Breed is a Australian brand. There we go. These are worth quite a fair bit of money. These are over $2,000, about $1,700. This is not my board. This is one I acquired. I had a Bain. So these were fiberglass, and this is the first, as you can see, the first invent of the urethane wheels came in. So this isn't a Cadillac wheel. This is actually a Detroit wheel or surfer. See the bearings are all open. You can see there how you oil them through there. I'm really giving you an appreciation when they have a whinge about their skateboards. Have a look what we were riding back in 1973. Look at the size of that. I was going to tape measure. Let's look at that just for a second. This is crazy. I think it's 22 inches. There we go. It's about 23 inches. So, and they're really short. But look, the thing is, you had to be good to ride these things back in those days, because you were like taking your life in your hands all the time. No helmets, of course. Bare feet was the traditional setup, and usually beach culture stuff. So that's a Golden Breed. So that came in around about 74, I suppose. 74, and then of course, as you got bigger and older, you started getting your own decks, and this is a deck that again, this is made with the urethane wheels. Look at those trucks. I mean, this is just crazy, unbelievable. And look at the width of those trucks. I mean, that is it's only about 5 inches from wheel to wheel. They're essentially like roller skate wheels that you put on a board, and I still ride this. I mean, this durometer. Honestly, Nelson, it's about 200 durometer. You can slide that by just turning. It's just so much fun. But that's what. And then of course we go into about 1975 now. That's when I think it all changed. You had Dogtown, you had, and I went to California in that time and skated at Ocean Park. Now, I wasn't a bowl skater, and I wasn't a flick skater like, Rodney Muller and all those guys, baggy pants and the beanies hanging down and jumping off. I went straight from surfing, because what we did, we used to surf, and we used to go and ride these boards when the surf was flat. So the whole idea was just getting your style. That's when you see me ride, I do ride differently to a lot of people in the industry, because I do act like I'm picking a line and a wave, and I'm sort of taking a wave. And predominantly it was just there for me to practice surfing when the surf was flat. So this is my very own board as well. This is my town. Well, it's a town. Look at that. It looks like the GTR. I think they copied this. That's 1974. I lost that bit in the back. And these were
Jeff. For Jeff, do you make a copy?
Yeah,
this?
Jeff, you copied. Someone saw this, and so actually, I had this on a video, and I think it's a great design. It's a Larry Bertelman design deck thing, and it's obviously Tracker trucks. These are Tracker trucks, OJ wheels, and Track trucks. I sent away for these in California. They took 7 weeks by ship to get here in '74. I was the first person in my street, in fact, in Sydney, to have OJ wheels and Tracker trucks. It was like the BMW at the time of skateboards. I've still got it. That's my board. So being a bit digressing, that's
that is perfect. That is perfect.
And
I think that is beautiful.
Skateboarding has been in my blood since for 50 years. So it's what I've been doing all my life. And in fact, when we look at the incredible transition from clay wheels and metal wheels, like you saw before, into urethane, it was just a mind-blowing experience. Just everything just went 1,000 light years ahead in terms of dynamics and talent and riding. Lucky I was so privileged to be alive at that time to see that transition and actually get a urethane wheel and go, my God, they're so quiet, they're so smooth. So I've also been alive 50 years. Let's go back in the time machine and go forward 50 years. Now we're talking about, now, but let's go back to when the transition of sort of electric skateboards came in, and really we've got to thank a few people, but I must say on behalf of Australia, we were really one of the, everyone thinks California started electric skateboarding, booster boards, the TED Talk in 2000, in 12 it was, but we forget that Australia, being so close affiliated with America in terms of surfing, the culture, the beach culture, especially in Sydney, we adopted, early adopters, a lot of things. We invented the lawnmower, we invented this Hills hoist washing line. We have got great dynamics here for research, development, medical. So it's not so unlikely that we got ahead in the game with electric skateboarding. So in 1991, Nelson, let me just get that in your head. 1991, my daughter was born that year. She's 30 this year. In 1991, a guy called Adam Riley on the Gold Coast, a surfer, a bit of a redneck in the country, I think it was too. He put a chain, an electric motor on a board and for a school project, and won that school project. There's some footage of that somewhere. I'll try to get it for my channel. He formed a company called Epic Skateboards on the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast, if you don't know, it's a big beach area. It's like a mini Honolulu, Hawaii. Everyone surfs, everyone's bleached hair. It's a very beach culture place. And he formed the company Epic Skateboards and got in production in 1997. So really, in 1996, they formed that company. So they were making electric boards with lead acid batteries and big chunky things that really, in fact, they were, Epic Skateboards are still around today, and they're making great boards, but they were way preceding anything from the States in terms of any M boards or not the motorized boards. So I think we had a very big head start in Australia with electric skateboards from Epic. Of course, in 2004, there was a guy called Dan Quinn and his brother, and they were making a board. This is 2004, remember? I mean, Evolve started in 2013, and Booster was 2013 production. So 2004.
The Involve started in 2010.
10. Oh, they started their first year. They kind of their first prototypes with Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah, they were very early models, but basically they formed a company called Fix Skateboards, FIIK, and I personally have a great story about that. I was in the Gold Coast. I came back from Indonesia surfing. I was over in Bali. I came back in 2004. My wife had passed away from cancer in 2000. It was devastating. I went across after trying to comprehend the whole thing. And in 2004, I went to Bali surfing. I got back in the Gold Coast. I saw these guys riding these big boards that were like literally wheels, 10-inch wheels. And I went up to them and said, look, what is this? What the hell is this? 2004. And they said, it's the Fick Big Daddy, or the Street Surfer. And I actually had a ride of one. And the two guys I spoke to at the time were actually Mick Fanning, world surfing champion, and Joel Parkinson. And they were only about 20. And I actually had a ride of it. And I was so powerful at the time, and it still is. So really, you look at that, 2004, they formed that company, which was the Fix Skateboards, and Matthew and Dan Quinn sort of got there at 2004 with proper electric skateboards. So this is the first place in the world electric skateboards really did take off, without a doubt, right? And that's still in production today. Fix Skateboards are still. My first review ever was the Fick Mini. Well, it wasn't. It was my second channel. I had a little channel before that. So it's sort of like very. It's just I romanticize about the fact my first. The Fick Mini. There it is. My very first video. And I gave it a bit of a thrashing, that thing, in terms of a negative review, because it didn't take me at all. Oh my God, that's going back 5 years. Yes, maybe 6 years now. Oh, there's the house. Yeah. There it is at the door. Oh my God. I was so excited when I got it. It was my first electric skateboard. Well, I tell a lie. I had the Magneto and the swag board prior to that. Oh my God. So, so people got to realize that Australia, especially the Gold Coast, was at the actual cutting edge of the world of innovation on electric skateboards, and I'm really proud as an Australian to talk about that. And these guys are quite silent heroes. Great time lapse, love it. And they're the silent heroes that really were the great forerunners, the great godfathers, the great ambassadors to the sport. And of course, we go to 2010, Booster come on, the TED Talk in 2012. And then we have Evolve coming in 2011. That's how it all kind of evolved. I still got that T-shirt. I think I cleaned the car with it now. No disrespect to Kick Push. That's a great T-shirt. Just I thrashed it. So to your question, I suppose a long answer, and I'll be mindful of the time as well.
No, you have the time you want, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Because I want to educate people on where electric skateboarding originated from and how important. Yeah.
Sorry, my friend. I just want to tell you something. This is a day for you. You can We have the time, all the time of the world.
Oh,
If you have
shit.
time, if you have time,
Be
yes,
careful
yes, my
what you
friend.
wish for.
No, my friend.
People are
I,
glazing over it now and going,
no,
"Oh
my
my god."
friend. You have your time.
Okay.
You can have the time you need. That is the
Oh,
interview
beautiful.
for you,
Thank you,
my friend.
Nelson.
I
Oh,
don't
look,
want.
thank you, because this is a wonderful platform to really showcase some history in the sport, which people don't know. And you know, I got to remember, I got into the sport in 2009. Now, I just want to tell you a story. When I first, after that FIC experience on the Gold Coast, I went, I want one. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get a FIC Big Daddy. I'll be the first person in Sydney. The batteries were 12.5 kilos. And they had a 5K range.
Yeah,
5K. And I've got to do the bullshit buttons now. I've got to do the bullshit.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
one of the
no.
things I love. It's about your channel. When you
No,
started,
look, no helmet, please. People, kids watching this at home, do not ride like that. That was before the days of political correctness.
that is more than 10,000, more than 10 years now, or it's 6 years, 6 years.
6 years, yeah.
And you have
Well,
to change.
I had a channel before that, Nelson. I did magneto board, swag board, but oh my god, there we go. That's hilarious. That's not a bad little board for what it was. Single hub motor. I rode that for ages. Jeez, that's funny.
I tell you like this. This is the beginning of something very special. Today he has close to 7,000 persons
Thank you.
in channel. That's why if you have so many persons, my friend, you have to be special.
Oh, thank you. You know, my whole methodology, my whole ethos, my whole reason for starting the channel wasn't anything about, you know, popularity or fame or trying to even be a creator. I couldn't give a stuff about. You can see the quality of this.
Yeah, fun.
But the point was, I just wanted to help people get the right board, because I got that FIC. It was a bit of a bad choice for me, and I wish I had someone saying, "Hey, Andrew, don't get that. Get yourself a blah blah blah. You know, get yourself a booster or whatever." So the channel was formed on the whole basis of that kind of blueprint, that I wanted to really help people, like a tailor in London High Street, Savile Row, saying, you know, that's the wrong suit for your shape. You have this thing, and that's how it all formed. But of course, it got out of proportion when I started getting boards in and started reviewing general boards, and then it became more of a review channel. But fast forward now, I'm calling it more of a electroscapable performance testing channel of boards that I pick. Now, that can be determined many ways, whether, is he a salesman? Is he just picking these boards? No, I'm not. I'm picking what I know works for me. If it works for me, it'll bloody work for you, right? Because I'm 100 kilos. I'm heavier than most people, or 95. So that's how it's sort of morphed into. And now I'm trying to do more sort of fun stuff. And like the old days, we had surf movies in the Opera House in the 70s and 80s. We go in the town and see a surfer. You feel cool. You come out feeling happy and you feel light and refreshed. So I'm trying to make movies that make people feel like, look at this footage. This is hilarious. And that's about 12 Ks an hour. No, I'm not knocking FIC up there in the Gold Coast. If you ever see this video, you've got an amazing product, amazing company, and you did literally change my life. And I saw your Big Daddy Broadbeach 2004, and it did change my life. So I suppose, you know, at the end of the day, that's what the channel's going into now, more of a fun channel and more of a, you know, an enjoyable thing where you leave that place and my channel thinking, wow, I feel like I had a little ride with Penman. I had a bit of fun, you know, it was cool. So yeah, and I suppose that's where we're at now. But so Nelson, a few questions to you. How did you get into your skateboarding? How did you because did you see something, or did you? Yeah, I know you contacted me 2 years ago. And you saw my evolve, and you said, I want one like that. And
First of all, I started because I was selling a drone. I was selling my drone. And I put it in eBay, and I put it in eBay. There's, I don't know, 7 years, and I put it in eBay. And one guy from Berlin, he said, "Do you want to change your drone against one electro skateboard?" And I say, "Electro skateboard?"
Oh my God! Is that how it happened? Is that how it happened?
And I say, "There is the electro skateboard," and the guy, "Yeah, it's an electro skateboard." And then I see the review. That was the board was Ago Unique.
Yeah. Oh, Unique. Yes, yeah, Unique. They were great boards.
Yeah,
that was your first board.
That was my first board. And then I say, okay, let's try it. I was very interesting. And then at this moment, I don't stop it. The day
how many you got now, Nelson? How many boards you got?
I was with, I think, 17. Now I sell it, some of them.
17?
Yeah, 17. 17. Yeah.
7 0. 7 0.
No. 17. 7.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. So
but
what is
then
the wife? Has
now,
the wife agreed on that? She's okay with
no,
all that?
no, I have to clean a little more. Now I have, I think, I have 10 boards. No,
My God.
I have.
I want to talk. I want to talk a bit about battery management on
Mhm,
that topic too later on about something happening. A lot
mhm,
of stuff I want to talk about tonight is groundbreaking stuff coming up. That if you're lucky if you're watching this, I want to
mhm.
discuss that. But yeah, so 17 boards. That's amazing, Nelson. That's
This
just
is too much. That's too
yeah.
much.
No, you
It's
never
too,
enough.
yeah, for
Like
my wife
people,
is like a crazy. Sorry.
hang on. I've turned this around. I'm interviewing you now. This is
No,
everyone's
no,
freaking
no,
out
no,
and
no, no, no,
confusing.
no. Hey, Scott.
Hey,
I speak.
Scott's in the house. Scott Davison.
I speak with Scott this morning. I'm trying to bring him here, but he's thinking about.
Yeah, he has done a couple. He did one with Jay Boston, but I don't know. He's a bit shy behind the live camera. I fly without a net all the time, so to me this is just normal.
So
um,
the A skate extreme. That is a guy from Germany. His
yep.
name is Romano. Is saying something very nice. I think that is like me and like lots of persons. And
Oh
it
my God, he is too.
was the
Andrew was the
first.
first Eastgate review I looked at before. But look, can I just say a big shout out to Eastgate Boy. I have talked to you. We've talked many times. I'm humbled by that. That I am so. You've made my day. Do you know? I'll tell you something. What I love about my channel, and that is that I get probably close to. I'm not exaggerating. About 50 emails a year, probably more, maybe only 100
Mhm.
now. And people saying, "Look, I was depressed. I was bitten by the black dog. I was overweight. I was going to leave my wife. I lost my job. I saw you, this old guy, riding a skateboard. I thought, if he can do it, I can do it. I can do that too. I thought, well, hang on, dude. I've been doing this for 50 years. I'm like a golfer off one. I make it look easy. I make it look fun. But you know what? They get back to me and say, but after watching you, I bought a board. My life has changed. I'm back. My hair's to stand because I get these emails, and that's the whole reason I do this, because people say to me, "You were instrumental, like Eastgate." Exactly, the Scots. I'm not sure at all, but it is. It's that's what my major drive is, to change people's lives. If I leave this place one day in 30 years and I've changed people's lives, their children, they say, "Oh, Andrew Penman back. He was one of the early ever adopters. One of these guys that did it. He changed my dad's life for me." My job's done. Right? That's done, finished, all over. So,
I love this.
I don't make any. I make no money on YouTube. I've just unmonetized my channel. To be honest with you, I've just stopped all ads. Ads are bullshit. I'm not having ads.
Yeah,
So
that's you're not going to
it's
win nothing. It's
no, and I
just
haven't sold one board. I've got every board up there. People are calling me hoarders and a bit of a nutcase, but I do not sell anything. And so the whole idea of my channel is to make people happy and make people fun and make a difference in people's lives. That's what the whole idea is. Plus, have a bit of fun along the way and meet some amazing people like yourself, Nelson. I've met so many good friends in Sydney that I've now got great friends that I would never have met in that sort of in that kind of that arena without being electric skateboard riding.
yes.
But the people you meet in this industry are very interesting creatures. I mean, I come from a surf background, so I'm from a surf, laid back, and you get a lot of guys that come from the gaming industry or the geeks. No disrespect to you guys, all
Mhm.
the motor guys, like the big helmets and they go speed, and you got all the more the engineer type guys, and that's where I think there's a problem in the industry, a bit about competitiveness, and the Freud thing. My board's bigger, and my board's better, and yours is crap, and that's why I've stepped away from all forums and everything, because I did say some silly things sometimes, like I think this X board is better than than an Evolve, and I did make a glitch on one of the systems on one of the skate
No,
groups.
no, no.
It
It's
just
your
went
opinion.
ballistic. I
No.
know, and I got to say,
Everybody
Harry's.
everybody has the right to have his opinion, and
Yeah.
sometimes we say something, maybe later we're going to I have lots of problem sometimes when I say something in YouTube or Facebook or something, but you have to understand today the big problem under is when you give your mind, not everybody is in the other side is going to accept it.
Yeah, I agree.
uh,
I
a-
totally
and
agree.
sometimes it's difficult because the person in the other side is so easy to write something,
Yeah.
maybe it's not from here, but it's just okay, it's easy to type and offend
Mm,
the other side. That's why I
I
don't
know.
I do the same like you today. Sometimes I don't say nothing because in
Mm,
end we're going to have we're going to be upset, we're going to be and I just want positive energy. I don't
Look,
need
that's true. I mean, there's so many fanboys out there that will stand behind their brand by thick and thin.
Mhm,
And, I get that. I totally understand that. The problem with that is that as we get more money, we get more experience, we get more the addiction of getting more boards.
mhm,
You're not a fanboy for one, you're a fanboy for many boards, and then you start
mhm,
getting a little bit spread yourself thin, and you can't then start unless you're an ambassador, you're getting paid for a company,
mhm,
which I will not do. And I've been approached by many companies to sort of be an ambassador for them and do their boards, but I want to stay independent. I want to do
mhm,
what I do, and that's produce the best, fun videos that really rely on, quality boards that I can pick and hand pick and sort of say they work for me. I'm not here to not recommend. I'm not here to not recommend a board. So I've said many times, I'm not here to sort of to kind of find faults. I know that looks really good on paper. Oh, he's so honest. He's found all these faults, but that's just a waste of time. I'm not going to waste YouTube time on that. I'd
mhm.
rather let someone else do that. So I suppose I must do a big shout out quickly before we finish off this whole history of how I got into it, and then we can move on to some other stuff, some very interesting, exciting stuff that's coming. But there's a guy in Germany, in Berlin, where you are, in Nelson, a guy called Frankie Sommer. Now, big shout out to Frankie if he watches this. He has a shop there called Funky Drive, and I was watching a video after 2004 and 2009. I was watching this German guy ride along the river in Berlin with this sort of click-on board, looked like a booster pack thing, and I thought, what is this? This is not the big thick daddy. This is something small. And this was 2009, remember, or 2007, sorry, 7 it was. And I
Mhm,
went, my God, I've got to find out. So I contacted him. He's quite a big player, and he's got a surf shop there. And he kind of got back to me and said, yeah, it's an Onan X2 or X1, the blue wheels. Now,
mhm.
just after that, I ended up getting a Magneto board, and I got an Onan X2, and that was my first videos. But I must shout out to Frankie because he was instrumental in me actually, not just, not the likes of the big players like Casey Neistat or Sam Shepard. Just seeing Frankie do this, I then went, shit, I want to do this. And he did such a good movie with a Michael Jackson song, and it was all copyright and that, but it was just awesome. And I saw that, and when I went to Berlin last year, or the year before last, I tracked him down. And I found him. I went to his skate shop. He was painting, and he came in. He saw this crazy Aussie going, "Hey, mate, how you going? G'day, mate. How you going?" He said, "Wait, hang on, you all right?" I said, "No, I'm not all right. You're Frankie Summer. You helped me get a book." So we had a hangout there, and he's some age as me. He's 50 now. We both turned 60 this year. So we're the world's oldest teenagers, and we were riding around his ramp in his shop, and we had this BMW skateboard. And all it's coming on the channel soon, that interview with Frankie. So he is one of the great godfathers of skateboarding in Germany, because he made a belt drive in 2002. He showed me. That's on the video. If you look at the German, on my travel videos, it's in the
Yeah,
Berlin
I'm
video.
I'm looking now.
Yeah,
I'm
and he's
looking.
an amazing guy, and he is such a good ambassador. He's a downhill rider. He's got heaps of awards and medals, and he's won so many contests. And he's a very talented rider. He's getting all the electric boards in Berlin for his shop, Funky Drive. So it's not a shout just to his shop, but to him as a great reason I got into this in 2007 and 8. So it's in the playlist if you want to find it, Nelson, and it's in
I'm trying.
but not the 360. It's the Berlin travel video. Go to playlist and you'll see not the 360s, but the travel videos, overseas travel, and you'll see Berlin somewhere there, and that's and you have to fast forward to, I think, some part. But it was so interesting to meet him, and I give a big, incredible, thank to him for showcasing and getting me into the sport. So that's, I suppose, where it is. Then, of course, the rest is history, really. In a way, I started just reviewing boards and more boards, and then doing some travel videos, which you're looking at now. When I went to Europe last year. That's the that's the illegal ride in Berlin. Everyone said you can't ride in Berlin, but I did. I rode down. That's past the major. That's the major Berlin dome thing there.
Yeah.
Cops are pretty good, actually. A few cops pulled me over, and they said, "What is that?" And I said, "It's an electric skateboard." And there were 12 of them. I actually videoed some of 12 of them. They didn't know what to do and how to find me, and they didn't know what to do, and so they just let me go, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, but today is
It's getting strict
different.
now, is it? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
now I talk with now we make demos in Berlin a lot, and
Really?
now there is going to go a person in jail because of that.
Oh my God.
Because
Okay, I take that
because
back. Sorry, anyone watching from Berlin, don't just go riding around.
no, don't ride it no more in Germany. Is
Yeah.
very bad. The
Wow.
laws now is very strict.
Yeah,
You lose your board. You
that's
have
right.
a fine. You're going to have a fine, big fine,
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
think it's not worth it. I shouldn't make light of that because I think being a tourist and probably picking the right time. I did a lot of riding
no,
through. I
there is
did like.
there is special places in Berlin like Tempelhof. If you go to Tempelhof,
That's right. Yes, yes.
that is the old Flug. What's the name of the airport from
Airport. Yeah,
Berlin?
that's right.
And today you can ride it there because that is private. Is not no problem. There is special places in Berlin that you can ride it. Is no problem. You can ride it in a street, but guys, be careful because the fines in Germany
Yeah,
is very very
and
high.
I've heard they take the board off you as well, and they confiscate the
They
board. So it's
they confiscate and they throw it and they destroy it. You
yeah,
don't see it
yeah.
again. That's why.
It's going to be very careful. I must say, having a folding board, and I've got it here actually to show you. Later, I'll get up and show you.
You
It's
can
one of
show
my.
everything, my friend.
It was the most incredible thing I had overseas. It's as fast as a motorbike. You can see cities as quick as a moped. And literally Rome, I saw all of Rome in 4.5 hours. That's Adrian's Castle, the whole thing. So it really is one of those things where once they legalize this, and we're pushing very hard in Australia to do that, it's going to be an incredible opportunity to, to see cities on an electric skateboard, Excuse me.
I hope that I hope we are. I know that they started before of me. The guys
Yeah.
in Berlin, that is the Electro Empire.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
very
yeah.
they are very big. They do lots of things for the community. I work with them. I have a show with one of them that his name is Lars. We make
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
every Monday we make a live stream in German.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
we talk about legalization, how we talk
Yeah.
about riders, boards, and everything. We try to bring something because we are in a bad situation in Germany, UK,
Yeah.
Netherlands, and we cannot ride it today. It's very very difficult for us. The
Yeah.
police is catching everybody. You have
Yeah.
to
I
go to
agree.
special roads. Yeah, and I think we need to have a law, but
Yeah.
I know that they started 11 years ago to try to have a law in Germany, but the power of bikes here in Germany is very very big, and they don't let it to be legal.
Well, we
And
actually, our Canberra, our national state, Canberra has just legalised electric skateboards, and they also legalised marijuana. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like California, have legalised electric skateboards and marijuana too. So maybe it's something to do with that connection. Not that I've never smoked marijuana my whole life, so I wouldn't.
yeah, but
see that.
you think like this, Andre. The problem is like this. Germany, Europe is 28 countries, and
Yeah, that's right.
normally all the countries in Europe you are okay to ride it. Just 3 countries is not okay. It's Germany, UK,
Yeah.
and
In
Netherlands.
Netherlands, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I actually rode in Amsterdam. I found it was. I met a guy there. It's on the video, a lovely guy, and he showed me where to ride and what not to ride, and it was very interesting. A lovely guy. He had an Evolve actually, and he couldn't believe he's met an Aussie over there riding a folding skateboard. But you know what? I must say, what country I do love riding electric skateboards in, besides of course Paris and London, but is Italy. Italy. I could not believe I rode on the Amalfi Coast, and I got there for a holiday, not thinking I'd ride there. And I looked over my hotel and I saw this cantilevered, road over the cliff from Positano to Priano, and I thought, you know what? I reckon I can ride that. So I went down there, clicked it open, and rode the whole way to Positano. 25 minutes. It is sketchy and it's extremely dodgy, like the roads and the tunnels. But it's like James Bond going through the tunnels, and it was just spectacular. And that's coming up my channel. I'm doing the whole ride from Positano to Priano and back. in both 360 as well as normal. And I was apparently the first person to do that in history. So when I got down there, they all got me in a local newspaper, interviewed me. I got on a blog page and also got on the local newspaper that, in 22nd of August 2019, Andrew Penman rode electroscape on the Amalfi Coast. But it was really fun, and I'd love to take groups over there. I would like to then just do holiday groups when you just run around and you just get 10 of us and we'll ride around. It'd be really interesting to see if that could be an option. But the Italians were really cool. I just loved that whole coastline. The roads are super smooth and super glassy because they're going to be so good around the cliff top there. So they really are. They really are beautiful. So Italy was pretty good. I liked Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, Italy is and you don't have no problems with riding.
That's
You
right.
can
Yeah.
ride. That is an easy country. I think Germany is easy, but because of so many problems, and now in America there's so many accidents and people dying. Because I think in the last 2 months, is lots of guys who died riding scooters and electro skateboards because they don't respect the rules of anybody. They're going to give you us problems. Not
That's right.
that is
I
very bad.
think
Yeah.
I think it's true. We need more bike lanes. I'm in the process of talking to a Sydney councillor here who's contacted me about forming some sort of, because Mike's career, besides being electrical fitter mechanic and engineer for the military, for government contracts and the Defence Force, I actually then went into being an accountant and being worked for the Inland Revenue, for you guys equivalent, or the tax office here. I was a senior director in law enforcement and had a team of staff doing, custodial sentences, locked up people who are doing crimes of, fraud and evasion. So my background's an accountant too and a CPA. So I'm going to work with the industry as much as I can to try and lobby for some sort of legislation changes. So we know some particular states are getting that way. Queensland getting towards that, and so is Canberra. And if we can get it legalised, we need some sort of people in the industry, sport, who have some knowledge and background into drafting proposals and that kind of stuff and requirements. So hopefully we can get. It'd be great, because most people are deterred from the sport because they think it's illegal and you really can't ride. And we all ride in Sydney and we don't get hassled too much. Oh, that was Venice. I rode in Venice too. I was the first person the first person I could ever search for who's ridden a electric skateboard in Venice. That's a 360 one, I think. If you go to the other Venice, that's... I ride somewhere in that video towards the end or something. Yeah. I had a ride in Venice. That was a lot of fun, and just the back part of Venice. But I just wanted to also do that. And I was talking to Jack from East Skater, and he said he did it at one point as well. So that was a lot of fun. I'll actually show you the board. Just while you're looking at that, I'll just get the board.
Yeah, that is a special board. Travel.
I've still got it. And when you first see this thing, people say, oh, it's such a ugly, boxy thing, but what it is, there's all this pewter and metal and all this, stainless. It's just a sexy looking thing. Like when you're carrying that, if that was a black box, that was just a black plastic box, no one would look twice at it. I must say, I didn't make the deck. The deck is from Board Up in California, and that folds beautifully. I've got the 3 shed lights on the front. The old ones, more than enough light for night riding. But the beauty with that is when I walked around with that, I'll just put it down and just open it up. It's hard with these headphones in, but just one sec. Oh, there we go. Just give me a sec.
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to show you in a second. I think
no problem.
Push that button.
I'm going to put it here, and when you push it or not.
Yeah, sorry guys.
No
I'll
problem.
Get back on that. I haven't opened that for a couple of months now, so I'll definitely just give me a second. There we go. Okay. Apologies for that. I'm
No
working with the
problem.
headphone here. Okay.
What
Right,
was the
so,
video
yeah.
you have? What was the video you have? The
Oh, it's if you go to the playlist, I'll just show
yeah.
you.
Okay, I'm in a playlist now.
Yeah, and go to just have a quick look
Travel,
myself. Yeah, travel.
travel on cities tours.
Yeah, travel OS City Tours. Yep,
Uh-huh.
and if you go down to
Veneza,
the
Zurich.
second one, city number 11. City number 11.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I did the Malfi Coast ride, but that's only a part of it, which was really fun. So I must say, that's an untapped area to
Yeah,
actually
that's
to ride. Look how smooth those roads are. They're like
yeah.
glass. The Italians aren't using them for skateboarding, and they're so cool. And while it's playing, you guys can just have a look at this. So you can see now by folding that up how small that is, that real estate on the shoulder. But because
Wait a
of all that,
second.
there we go.
Yeah.
See? And because of all this pewter hinging and the steel here and the whole look at that, I got a lot of attention. It looks a lot more sexy than carrying a little plastic, that folds right.
What country do you buy this?
Well, the actual board's from Board Up. It's a company in California. They have a skateboard only that does a fold, but I actually incorporated that box. I made that myself and got that done to fit so it folds right up completely. But they have since brought out a single or a double hub motor that they have their own triangular, triangular motor. But I'm using a Viril motor in here, and I think I'm using. I can't think of it. Scott Davies actually helped me get those motors for that on short notice, so I forgot what they were again.
What batteries are you using?
Okay, this is a 12S3P in there, and it actually does a good range. So when I was in sort of Switzerland, I rode pretty much 16 kilometers on each battery, and I got two of them, and they just fold in a little case, and I put the case in my backpack. This gets folded up in my bag. And it goes into a backpack. I can hold a backpack as well, and it's really, really, really good. So it just goes into a backpack. You can walk into a museum, or you can just
And to
So
travel, to
for
travel,
traveling,
you don't
it's
have no problem.
brilliant. No problem at all.
Okay.
I put it in my suitcase. I actually folded it in my suitcase and packed my clothes around it. And I took the batteries through on the actual on board the plane. But I had them in a nice Ziploc IKEA sort of bag that looked like very professional with the the 3D stuff on it. So it looked like it was properly hologrammed, and they're all battery friendly. So that was quite an amazing adventure. So I had a great time through Europe, and just having that folding board was just such a bonus. When I went to I went to a museum or somewhere, and I suddenly had to get back, I could do it. I could just jump on that, and it was just so small and so easy. Yeah. So, but that's. But I'm so sad to see what's happened at the moment with COVID, and what you guys are going through over there at the moment. And well, we're lucky we're in Ireland, so we really are. We're I'm not sure that might have been. That was going down the Malfi Coast ride. Yeah. I'm gonna actually do a whole complete upload of the whole ride itself. It was so hot that day; it was 40 degrees. But that board, I'll tell you what, the Viril battery motors that I was using a Lingy. It's just such a powerful little beast, and 500 watts twin hub motors. Of course, way before cloud wheels, which would have been so nice.
For the guys who are coming here, is not without helm. That is a special hat. Cup.
Yes, I must say. Okay, just this is. They've got their bump cap. They're full on nearly an inch of foam through the center, and there's a bit of Kevlar on the ones I've got on the back there, custom made. They are really, really hard, quite really hard. Okay, you're not going to chin strap, not going to support your head, but for that trip I didn't have actually. Good morning, Exo. for that trip, it was handy for me to have that. And because I've been riding for so many years, I was quite confident riding that in reasonable, not big traffic. I was usually riding where there wasn't a lot of, cars. So it was kind of safe. But I wouldn't recommend normally wearing that. I'd have a new folding helmet that I've seen online now, which I've got. But yeah, I mean, I think for what it was for that trip, it was fine. And it's not a normal helmet. It's actually quite a foamed.
Yeah, I know. The first time I see this hat was with you. The first,
Yeah.
and I think it's not so bad. I think it's better than nothing.
Oh, look, it does. If you hit something, like especially if you're going through and you low things and hitting a head, it's brilliant for that. But it's also it's a complete plastic, and it fits down like a sock on a bowling ball, so it's hard to get off, unless you actually, So yeah, that's what I've used that trip on that holiday. Yeah, but that's before I left on. So I rode from the corner of that point right the way around. It was actually so much fun. So I think once things clear, the Italians were quite blown away. They weren't kind of sure what it was. I felt like Frankie Sampata with the jet boots. I was going along. They're coming past the motorbikes and screaming and whistling out, and it was a lot of fun. But certainly, I think you guys will get back. You'll get back to normality at some point, and I'll be back over there again. I'd love to go for a ride with you, Nelson, and go with the group. It'd be incredible.
You can stay in my home, and all the guys is going to receive you very well here in Europe, and you're going to have wonderful. a fine time here.
I was trying to have fun, you guys, last time, but I had 3 days in each city. Watch this bike rider. This guy goes past me, and then I go past him later. Because that's the power of electric skateboard. You can just go up a hill. But yeah, next time I only had 3 days each city. I did Munich, I did Berlin, Rome, I did Amalfi Coast, Isle Capri, Amsterdam and Bruges, and I rode in Bruges, I rode in Paris, and I just didn't have long. It was more of a holiday just to get out there and do some of this stuff. But it was a lot of fun. Yeah,
because in Bruce you don't have no problems. In Bruce, it's legal to ride.
The only problem you got there is you got cobblestones everywhere.
Yeah, but in Bruce they're going to change the rules, and they're going to change the because now they're going to take more, like in France. There is some cities in France that are taking the roads one place from the cars, and they are doing a special road for electro boards.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible! That would be amazing.
And Belgium, they want to change too. They want to put the place for the cars for electro skateboards.
Absolutely, they got it. This is the future.
This is the future, but that is a big fight because
I've gone past the bike rider. See? He's a bit pissed. But that's what I mean. He catches up to me again. But that's what I mean. There's no bike lane there, but as long as you're careful. But there was a couple of spots where the buses come through, and it's a bit sketchy. But look, it just goes to show you can ride these things anywhere. You can see massive cities. If we can get this thing legalized, it's going to be a whole game changer for travel. And forget Uber, forget anything else. This is all you need. But
I think it's going to be better for all of us.
I agree. I totally agree. Some exciting stuff coming up. I just want to talk about while we're running that video. There's something coming. I can't say too much. First of all, with the Zulu board, one of the guys in Sydney who contacted me. Excuse me about my throat. Sorry.
Something.
I'll be right. I think I'm right now. So what happened? Someone contacted me about 4 years ago. A guy called Zil, and he produced this Zil board which I showed on my channel, which was a beautiful tramper design skeleton on his sophisticated battery setup with a carbon graphene battery system and all this. Well, the Zil board 2 is coming. It's taken a while, but he's gone. I can't say too much, but I suppose what I can say is that something's going to come up in this build that's not been seen before, Nelson, in the industry at all, worldwide. Like it's absolutely it's how do I put it? It's groundbreaking stuff to a point where it will change the dynamics of electric skateboarding forever, in terms of how we ride them and how we and the power and how we charge them and everything. So that's going to be probably coming up sooner than later in the next 5 months, the actual technology in that board. which will be really interesting because he works in a company area that does all this R&D for military stuff, X-drone design, and what's coming is going to be really, really very exciting. So keep keep definitely looking at my channel for that, because that's going to be quite insane. It's
That's
also
why
going to
I'm
be
going to say something. Sorry, guys, if you want to follow Andre, I have all the links here.
oh,
Everyone,
thank you.
all the links you can find. I'm going to show you very quickly, because this person has lots of links. If you go to his Facebook, you're going to see there everything from him. If you go to the now we are here, but if we change like this, we're going to go to his YouTube channel.
Yep.
He has lots of videos, but lots of videos, lots of information for you guys. You're going to lose lots of hours, maybe,
Oh, thank you.
to see
There's
everything.
something for everybody. There's something for
Yeah.
everyone there. That's for
Then,
sure.
if you want, you can go to his Instagram, you can go to his Twitter, and you can go to his TikTok. Everything, all the links, I leave it there
Oh, that's
for you
lovely.
guys to go and find them. Then you can see how amazing how the travels he makes around the world, in Europe and everything.
Just looking.
You're going to see
Oh.
lots of information from board. If you need something, don't forget, subscribe, give a like, put the link. Then you're going to know when is going to come a new video for new
Yeah.
information. He's always doing a new review. That is, he has a special way to do his reviews. Is different from all the other guys. Try to go there. You're not going to lose nothing. You're just going to enjoy it, have lots of
Oh,
fun.
thank you.
Like
That's
me.
so kind.
No, it's not kind, my
That's
friend. We are talking the truth here. Don't.
oh, I try.
I just want to say something. Here
Yeah,
is
yeah.
nobody is paying. We're doing this because of the community. He's a community guy. He do lots of stuff. Like in the beginning, he says something. He don't win nothing with this. That is lots of work for the YouTuber. That is lots of work for nobody knows how many hours we have to lose to make a video, to create
right.
something. And we do this for fun, to help you guys. That's why I have him today here, because I think he's a very special person here in our electro community. He do lots of things, and this channel is to bring the persons who make stuff for the community,
Yeah,
and the electro community.
It's interesting. Like I think I was the very first person to bring the Chinese market to the Western world, 100%. Right? There's no doubt about it. But when I started, there was obviously there was Sam Sheffer, Casey Neistat was doing the booster stuff, and there was also Vitaly from Portable Electric Vehicles was doing some skateboard reviews. But no one else was on the radar. No one was doing anything. And I got in about that time. I was about the fourth person to not just do the Chinese stuff, which I got absolutely smashed for. Like I said, what are you doing? Wasting your time with Chinese toys, and you get yourself involved. But I then brought that whole Chinese market in, especially with the early cool wheels, the Onins, as well as the real. And I helped Vic really showcase his really nice quality boards to the market in Western world. And for that, I'm so humble, because we knew by adding another dimension, another competition from the Chinese market, they'll eventually bring the boards down. There'll be a lot of pressure. And so I was instrumental in being the first person to ever review electric boards from China, to bring that to, with a bit of flack, but to bring that to the skating world from us. So I'm really proud of that. And I was also very early. I mean, I think I was the only person riding electric skateboards in Sydney for a little while there. I went to Barangaroo when they were building it six years ago. I was told, what is that thing? Get out of here. You can't ride. It was noisy as hell. It was a magneto board. But the thing is, if I'm one day remembered hopefully bringing that, there's all of us, that's everyone now watching this, everyone in this first 5 years of sport is very much an early ambassador to this incredible industry, and will always be remembered. You will never remember the next 10 years. The people that in 10 years' time, no one remembers those, but people remember the people that came and brought this sport to the masses, just as surfing was in the 60s, and Huntington and Malibu, the bushy blonde guys, Mickey Dora, the Cat, all those guys who surfed early are well remembered, but the ones after, just following the rest of the run of the mill. So we've got to big responsibility, everybody now riding, that we're in a very, very historic time to be remembered as one of the great, forefathers of the sport. So yeah, for that we're very privileged and should be very, very careful how we project ourselves and how we, showcase our stuff, because it's that's remembered, not the bad stuff. We want to remember the good stuff and all that. So yeah, it's an exciting time to be in this industry with battery technology changing, and again something coming in the Zulu build that's going to change everything on electric skateboarding to such a degree that I think people will go. Penman mentioned that back in 2021. Can you believe that? So yeah, it's very exciting what's about to happen, which is mind-blowing. Another clean coming, there'll be another product so to help the management of batteries in boards. So if you've got a lot of boards, there'll be a product coming out. There's the little Shaka board. There'll be something coming out which will show you how to showcase and how to look after your batteries very quickly, determine that 60%. A lot of boards coming in now with automatically bringing down the battery levels themselves, like the drones do. But there's something coming out that's going to be a product that will just blow you away. Like I'll buy 3. You only need 1, but I can't talk too much about what it is. But you'll be able to sort of plug your boards in, and it'll just manage everything and manage all your batteries, so you can just forget about them. That's coming on my channel again in about 2 months, so that's really exciting. So yeah, there's a lot happening. But tell me, in Europe at the moment, you guys you're between everyone, you're networking with all these big groups. It's just so exciting to see. Is it growing? I mean, you're getting bigger groups. Are you getting more people riding now? You're seeing more people.
So like me, I'm a guy who try to bring all the day. I am the guy who try to speak with all the companies, all the groups rights, and I'm trying to make like a big community that everybody has his group rights, everybody has his country, that we can sit and talk to because of these new laws, that we can everybody see what is better for the community. And I think that is very important for me. I'm a guy who speak with everybody.
I spot it.
I am in 100. I think now 100. I think about 3 or 4 days I see it 189, 98 groups all around the world.
Oh my gosh!
I try to contact every week. I always do like this. The plan to contact all of them about one time in months, just to know how everything is working. How can we work? I want to bring them all of them here to the channel for us to discuss, like you today, like was Jay Boston, like I want Scott to, that all of you can work together with us, because in Australia, everybody is like you have maybe lots of companies and lots of history in Australia that we can first not forget, and the second one, we cannot forget.
Well, Australia, Nelson, is a really interesting country. We're an island, but a very conservative country. And for instance, the Apple Watch, you haven't got the the algorithm thing which does the heart ECG. Where you touch that. That's not allowed here. We can't do that. This country is hell bent on. It's a bit of a nanny state, and we have the most strictest legislation here. It's an island. I mean, look, we didn't let anyone in, even between borders. We only can go to Queensland as of next week. I haven't seen my daughter for 6 months. She's in Brisbane. It's a good litmus test. It's a really good canary in the bird cage to see if Australia can get the laws through. Right, especially New South Wales, which is ridiculously strict. We can get them through anywhere in the world, right? Because this country is so incredibly strict on medical, on everything, vaccines. We're just incredibly, ridiculously obsessive about getting it right and very politically correct. It's a tough gig out here. So what we're up against here is a very strong government and just a policy, a history of you can't do this, you can't do that. So hopefully we can share that knowledge with you guys. So if we get legislation passed, and we get some information, and we get ideas how to shortcut and short circuit that, and we can get policies through, we'll certainly help you guys in Germany, because the Germans are just as tough, and we need to start breaking down walls. Yeah. At the end of the day, I totally get it.
It's not, Andre. It's not.
Mm.
Is the people are behind the politics. That is the
Yeah,
problem. Like us in Germany, we have a big power of cars and a big power of bikes. The
yeah.
companies, they don't want to lose place.
I know. I was on a train from Munich, no, from Berlin to Munich, and I was on a train, and 65 guys got on with bikes and on the
Hmm.
carriages, and I just went, "What the hell?" I had it all to myself, and now I got like everyone's there, and they're all from Stuttgart, and they're from all these.
Yeah,
They ride their bikes from the mountains, and I couldn't believe how much they're into their bikes. Push bikes. Forget it. Get an electric skateboard,
yeah,
man.
yeah. But
But
but the
but
law
yeah,
here, my
hey
friend,
Shane, I
the
know,
law
and there is
here
a
in
big,
Germany, a
big
bike
push.
is like the bike is like God
God,
here in
yeah,
Germany. They
I
can do
know.
everything they want. They can go
You know,
the 70. Yeah, yeah, please.
once you get on an electric skateboard, I mean, really and truly, it's quite a euphoric experience. To me, it's the closest thing to flying. It's the
Hmm.
closest thing to. It's a bit like I said many times, like a horse. It's like you have your own
Hmm.
horse. You go somewhere, you park the horse, and it's like the Wild West, and you get a cup of coffee, and you're back on your horse, and you're on again. It's becomes this vehicle that can propel you across the ground. I mean, what an incredible invention from a skateboard like this from 1960 to
Hmm.
go into a motor to take you across the ground at lightning speeds at 40 k's an hour. That just becomes, a really interesting concept. And not only that, but the fact it's silent. And that's why I'm really getting to these direct drives at the moment. I've got this board I'm riding, the Transite, which I must do a shout out. It's an incredible board, but it's just dead silent. Like you have no sound. And I'm being a big fan of belts. I love that. I love the
Hmm.
feel of that belt. But when you get on a dead silent board, it's like Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox. You can't hear anything. It just propels you, and it's like a magnetic alien technology. it's like I'm being hovered across the ground. So until you everyone knocks the belt drive guys and the full face helmets and the guys that love the power and the noise, until you get into have one of those in your quiver because it's addictive. It is really quite an amazing experience. And so once people get on those and start seeing the feeling you get, the bizarre feeling of being transported along the ground. One of Jerry Seinfeld's jokes was convertible, like nothing in the world. You sit in it, it's like you're inside but outside, going along, and some joke like that. I can't remember the joke, but it was something like that. Same as a skateboard, you're standing and being, when you put your hands out, it's like you're flying.
Hmm.
So hopefully people will adopt it more and give it a go. And that's why I'm trying to get my channel to get people in with the cheaper boards, get them in with the Chinese boards, give them a go. And people have said to me, "Oh man, you bastard, you got me into buying that cool wheel. And then I bought this and I bought that. And now I've got 3 boards." And even you rang me and said, "Where do I get that Evolve from?"
Yeah,
So it's true. And once you get into it, if that sweeping, that wave will come through, it'll be monumental. It'll be so much pressure that the governments will just say, "Done. Okay, let's legalize." Either you get an insurance or you get a registration a year, or whatever. You got a speed limit, and that's how it'll end up going. Hopefully, I think we'll see it certainly in my lifetime, but we'll see it hopefully in the next 10 years. I'm
yeah.
hoping.
I hope it too, my friend. I hope that
Yeah,
in the future, in a very close future, we're going to be legal because for us in Germany, in Europe, we want just to
yeah,
have insurance because that is one of the important things to have
yeah.
insurance. And second, the thing we know where can we drive
That's
because
right.
the big problem sometimes it's very difficult for us to know when I go to France, when I go to Austria,
Mm,
when I go to Italy, when I don't feel no problems, I feel safe. Before
yeah,
in Germany there is about 2 years because the explosion for everybody you know that very well, but lots
yeah,
of people don't know the explosion from skateboards. There is about 2.5 years, maybe 3 years maximum.
yeah,
But a big
yeah,
explosion is about 2 years. Then
yeah.
everybody wants an electro skateboard. Before was not a problem in Germany. I ride
Mm,
it 7 years with no problems. The police
yeah,
left when I see my skateboard. They say, "What is this? That
yeah.
is
That's right.
electric," and that was not a problem. And then in the last 2 years, that start to be a problem in Germany. because lots of people
Yeah.
make lots of
You know what?
mistakes.
You know what upsets me, Nelson? I was in town last week. I jumped off on my board. I got off the bus and I was at the dentist in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. I like to time it. It's pretty clever. 5 city blocks, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. I mean, anyone has problems with their knees as you get older. You never have to worry about riding at all, and your knees will never fail if you just can. And don't run on your knees. Your knees will last you till like 70. And people don't realize that skateboarding will protect your joints, protect your hips, protect all your, it's just amazing. It's a modern day cool mobility scooter when you get older. Like I'm 60 and my knees are getting sore when they're getting really bad, but now I can just hop on this thing and go 6 city blocks, and it's just crazy. But the thing is, with these particular young kids that come in the city with their boards and they scratch up the pavements, they jump around, they're pests. They're absolutely pests. You hear these rattling wheels, these crappy, similar to this situation on the metal wheels here. And they're just annoying and they're loud. So they're the ones that attract the bad attention. So we, as older gentlemen, we cruise around quietly in pneumatic tires. There really isn't a problem, and I don't know why. It's the power thing. It's the whole legality of the energy that this thing creates and can cause injury. So I get that, but I think they're picking on the wrong people all the times. Get these kids that are destroying public property off, and handrails and sandstone. They're just damaging everything, But I think that's attracting bad attention to us. This was a live stream I did on the 3 of the best boards I had of last year. A lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Carbon fiber is my new friend now. I think carbon fiber is going to add a lot more less weight to the boards, and I'm loving the carbon feel. Yeah, it's kind of really cool. But next year for my channel, if you're watching or know what's happening, hey Spider there, hey Star.
Next year or this year?
Or this year coming, this year, this year coming, it's going to be a lot more fun stuff. It's going to be a lot more like Red Bull challenges inspired. I've been told by Red Bull to put inspired there. I'll be doing some fun stuff and some super steep streets and super crazy, dangerous stuff. And I'll be doing a lot of epic sort of rides in really beautiful locations but more storytelling. Hopefully people will enjoy that kind of stuff as well. Than just, hey, here's your own box and this is it and it works. I think I'll shift away and let people do some of that stuff, and I'll still definitely get the best boards I can find in the year, and definitely get those showcased. Yeah, Scott's just saying the Beast board is one of the surprises of 2020. The Beast board certainly, and the Transite and that Lycon Carbon were for me, and the best board of 2000 all up. Which I'm going to give it probably be the Real RS. The 20 amp hour battery coming in is going to be a 60 kilometer range. It just becomes crazy. You can't ride that long. I did 50 Ks the other day and it nearly killed me. But yeah, so hopefully, who wants to ride for 50 Ks? Come on. But basically, I think my channel's going to go to more that sort of fun stuff as well as educational stuff. And once I can travel again, Nelson, I want to do maybe ride on the Great Wall of China, or sneak it into some places like some really crazy places that Egypt along towards the pyramids. But I want to kind of do stuff that really attracts attention to the sport and gets people in and gets people really motivated, and providing some of the benefits that electric skateboarding can. Now, if you hold your fingertips on your stomach while you're riding, just feel that while you're riding a board. It is literally a core workout. I mean, I'm not a great ambassador for fantastic fitness, but it's sure enough, by 4 or 5 hours on a board is heartbeats around, my heartbeat's usually 46, 45. It's pretty low, but it's up around 90 to 100. So if you're watching this saying, oh yeah, I was going to do it, but it looks a bit boring, or you don't get a workout, you get a workout. You do get a full-on workout riding these things. Hey, don't you, Nelson?
Yeah, my friend. That's why I tell you, I don't like you to stop making the
reviews.
The reviews, because I think
I'll still do them. Yeah, I will still be doing them, and
because you make it in a special way for everybody to know. There is a special. If you go to his channel, he has different sounds for different things. In his channel.
Well, I have a bullshit button.
Yeah, bullshit.
And I have a yes button.
Wait a second.
I have a yes button. I also have a bell, which I think if it's a really cool thing, I have that for a light idea. So if it's a really cool idea, I'll click that. And then I have my my Land Rover, which is alarm. And that It's now. I think that's the one. That means that something alarming is happening. There's something wrong with that board or something dangerous. So I haven't had to use the Land Rover for a long, long time, except for well, I won't mention the board. I won't throw them under the bus. But some of the boards actually go back. Some of them I don't even get to the channel because I only pick the boards I really know they're going to be. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to sleep at night. I'm going to be able to know that if I recommend a board, it's going to work for them, right? That's a very important aspect. People know where I live, right? They know where I live, and they can come around and throw stones at my house. So I'm not a salesman. I wish I was. I wish I made some money. I mean, I just paid $600 for a couple of these antique boards. But, it's not about making money. It's about being happy. It's about producing a good product. But as a content provider, I want to provide something that if I'm long gone, I hope YouTube doesn't archive this stuff every 50 years and my daughter can be 60 going, that's my father. He has to do this stuff. I hope that one day I'll leave an imprint of something that was fun and something sort of quirky and sort of maybe corny and cheesy, but it worked, and he provided something for people. And I know that it works. I mean, my channel's growing and it's working well. And I said, I just think that if we can continue just, making people happy, that's all it is. And my God, electric skateboarding for me has become, I mean, I love my surfing, don't get me wrong, I still surf. I haven't surfed as much the last couple of years because I've been doing a lot of this stuff. That's the new clouds on the trans site. I got 50 Ks on that board on a 12S3P, which is pretty astounding on the 50. It's a 50E battery, and so I'm a big fan of the 50E Samsungs at the moment, the 21700s. They are an extraordinary, God, you're a good creator. Nelson, if I can do 10% of what you do, I mean, you're making me look good. Stop it, you're killing me. Stop it, you're killing me.
No, my friend.
A big shout to John.
I'm just showing your work, my friend. That is everything.
Thank you.
Everybody's seeing. That is everything you're going to find is in his.
How's that
channel.
drone? How's that drone footage? That's crazy good, isn't it? No, it's not a drone. Hang on.
What drone?
It wasn't.
What drone do you was using?
I asked the guy to help me. It was a lovely guy, John. So a big shout out to John. He was there and he filmed me coming down the hill. So that was cool. I must say though,
what drone was you using?
Oh, okay. Now with the drone, you'll see coming up. I used a Spark. Now I just use a DJI. Look, if you want a channel that looks reasonably good, I mean, my production I think is up there with anything. It's pretty good. It is a no frills technology. I mean, let's face it. I'm using an iPhone 7 Plus. Now I've got the GoPro 9. This is GoPro 9. Finally, I bought that after 5 years. I'm using a DJI drone Spark. This is the Spark. And, you don't have to spend money. So if you want to get into it, guys, if you want to get into doing reviews, and I tell you what, I can tell you the amount of people I know I've encouraged to do this, probably close to about 100. And there's about 5 who are doing really well at this, who have sort of seen me and going, geez, I want to do that too. And I know Scott Davies met me and he said, oh, God, I watch your channel and all that. And I love what you do and all that. And then little by known, he got onto it and he's got a great channel. Hey, there's Scott. He's got a great channel. He's been influenced by, I suppose, me. A lot of people have said to me, I started doing that after watching your channel. So, it's good. Competition is good. It's it's good to have people complimenting you. But
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you have friends all around the world that they are YouTubers and they come to see you, like today.
I know.
You have guys here who come. Igna is a YouTuber. You have the Scott is a YouTuber.
Oh, I know.
You have Skater is a YouTuber. You have Jay Boston was a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. Everybody come to see you. There is lots of people who don't do that. And that's why I think that is amazing that we are a community.
It is, and it's interesting because I all I can think of is that when I set out to do this, it wasn't to do this. It was just to sort of review boards. But it's sort of morphed into something more now, and it's a fun. I like to treat it as a sort of Top Gear show with one presenter, where you have the same sitting at my desk, the same familiar place like McDonald's. Anywhere in the world, you can go to McDonald's. There's Penman at his desk. He's there, and I have a chat with Andrew. He's kind of cool, and we go for a ride together, and it's like a little adventure. And a lot of people say to me, you've got me through my depressing winters. You helped me get through last year. It was like your channel sort of makes me smile, and that just makes my day, more than anything at all. So I hope I'm really helping. Oh yeah, the Cyclone Swift. That's a good question, True Spider. Yeah. Look, I was supposed to get I think I was going to get the Lycon Swift to review, but I think I was so busy. It went to Ronnie and it went to Daniel Kwan. But look, Scott's done a great review on it, and I haven't ridden it, but it seems pretty powerful. Although I haven't had a good ride of it yet. I've only just had a look at it, so I'll get back to you on that Swift. But if at the moment I can't go past. I shouldn't. We're not here to mention boards. That's not what we're about. We're about to talk about general stuff. But if you look at my channel, you'll
It's
see
not
what
a
boards I
problem, my friend.
recommend. Yeah. Hey,
It's not a
how's your
problem.
LaCroix going? How's the LaCroix? You must be loving it. Lone Rain. You got the Lone Star.
The Lone Star, but I have now different because I make it
You got the
with
Trevor.
I make it with ATOX gear drives.
Oh my God! You got
I
the
love it. Yeah, ATOX make
wow.
us it creates something special for my board. That is
And
the
that's
only
the
one.
is that the Helix gears? That's the
Yeah,
Helix on
yeah,
an
yeah,
angle. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Helix gears. Yeah.
He makes
Yep.
special for me. He's a good friend for
Wow.
me, and it takes lots of time. I leave my board there, and he created that, and
Oh my gosh, that is
it's like
fantastic.
it's like a dream. He's a
It's
fantastic
it
guy. That's why. That's
is.
why. That's like you tell. That is. We are with a big.
We're a village. We're like a
Yes.
village. We look after each other. Yeah, we do.
Yes,
Look,
and
you know,
that was so beautiful for me to ask him, and he say, "Okay, then I don't have so much time, but when I have a little time, I'm going to make it for you." And one
wow.
day to another one, he say, "Bring me your board. Maybe I can do something for you." And then about weeks later, he said to me, "You have to come here. I have to show you something." And when I was there, I was like, "Whew, that is
Jeez,
brilliant."
is it quite smooth and quiet? Those gearing, the Helix, they
It's
sort of
quiet.
they go.
It's quiet.
Yeah,
You
not
don't
like
listen.
my the Equil I've got, the Equil, which is a great board by the way, planetary gearing, four-wheel drive. It is a bit noisy. It's a bit on the noisy side, but
No.
yeah, I've had fun with that. But look, that's not usually my bag. That kind of big off-road beast of a thing, and I will get doing a lot more of that stuff coming up, like going on sand dunes and. I don't use straps. Being a surfer, I don't want to strap in. I'll be using natural air to sort of jump around a bit, but am loving that that feel, that big sort of off-road thing. But I do like, I'm also doing, like the carving boards, the street carvers, not electric skateboards, but the smooth stars. And you know what? I'll tell you guys, if you want to improve your style or improve your reflexes, get yourself a carving board, a street board. It's a really good workout. The board I'm recommending, which I can't go past, is the Smooth Star. It is unbelievable, and when you get to that, it is you find concrete waves and you find gravity and you find areas and it really does change your style a lot, and then you go back to a normal electric skateboard and you want a bit more carving. Like what was funny is that on this board here, you'll see on my travel board, the front trucks, if you look closely at those, they're
Mhm.
they're a gull wing double, they're a gull wing double Kingpin truck Sidewinder 2, and that's what Jeff Anning copied. God love him. He copied that without any problem on the Evolves. But I've been riding those for about 20 years before, or actually about 15 years before Evolve. And that double gull wing Sidewinder 2 is such a nice carve. And I put that on the front of my travel board, and I could just turn in a 3-foot circle. It's so critical when you're in a location like a city you don't know how to where you're going to go. You need to have bright lights and good turning. So yeah, I must say, if you want to check out my channel for the carving boards, there's a whole playlist there of when I've done the reviews on those. Again, just something you can throw in your back if you have a coffee break somewhere on an electric skateboard. You chuck that out and you can ride around and have some fun. They self-propel. They're not like a wiggle board. They're not like a toy. They're actually a proper surf tool. And in fact, Philippe Toledo, the world pro surfing champion, nearly won the world title 2 years ago, and 16 of the top surfers in the world are riding the Smooth Stars for training. They are such a good board. I mean, I've tried the carve. In fact, one of my reviews, I think it was the one that I did on the comparison video, is approaching 60,000 views, which is my biggest one. I think I've got something like 80 on the microphone one, but yeah, those Smooth Star comparison videos. If you look at the Carver one, maybe the Carver. So yeah, so get into those guys because they are a lot of fun and they will improve your electric skateboarding. And you don't have to hammer your electric skateboard with slides and belt snaps. You can actually smash these boards up and then get that same addictive feel of sliding, and then you will be able to perfect your slides. The only beauty with electric skateboarding is that with a good slide, which I did on the Beast, I've realized that rather than go into a corner and try and power through a corner. You just go straight along with full speed, and you slam the brakes on. And
What video do you talking about?
oh,
Is it by the
go
skate
to yeah, the
surf?
surf
Yeah.
skate, and then you can go to maybe the carver board, sorry, the penny board highline. I think that's penny board. Is it there? Yeah, because this was I got the penny board. It's an Australian company, and it's a great board. I shouldn't, have a go at penny board. That's one of our local beaches. I love the English. They come on and go, I can't believe that where you live, the South Pacific. It's really blue there, water. And is that like? I said, yeah, we're in the South Pacific, dude. We're in our neighbours are Fiji and Tonga. We're in the South Pacific. Yeah, we're a long way down under too. It's a long way from anywhere down here. But yeah, so these carving boards are great fun, and get into them because they're a good workout. Forget going to a gym, forget going for a run. Oh God, I got the hat on. Have I? Hilarious. You can fast forward that a bit.
Yeah, you're having fun.
I lost that hat in the Malfi Coast. That was a shame.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I got it back to the airport. Sorry, and I lost it coming through Sydney Airport. So if you see that anywhere, make sure you pick it up. It's mine. But yeah, so that's another aspect to skating. Just don't think of electric skateboarding. Look at your carving boards and have some fun with them. And this is what it's all about. It's about getting out there and having fun and just enjoying it and trying everything. And the big shout out to the girls out there, the dudesses out there. And I've got 5% females that watch my channel, which is great because I want more women to get into the sport. I think it's great. What do you think, Nelson? Will your wife give it a
go? Yes, that's why. That is good that you said that. We are going to start up to 31 of January. We're going to start every Sunday in the morning.
Wow.
We're going to have a girl rider in our channel. A special day
Oh my
for
God,
girls.
that's great.
And one time in a month, we're going to have an interview with 4 or 5 girls in the same day from different countries of the world. We're going to have, I think, next month we're going to have Sandra. Sandra is from Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
that's wonderful.
The Queen Rider. She's very active in Instagram, and she's going to be here. Let me see. I don't want to say no mistake. She's going to be here on the 7th of February. She's going to be here, but we're going to start it in 31. Is going to be Katia out Portugal, and then
gosh,
we're going to have Rachel from America.
Wow.
She's a one-wheeler rider.
Yep,
She is the wife from the guys from the Flow Lives. She's going to come here too. We're going to have Casey. We're going to have from UK. We're going to have Hella from Germany. We're going to have Amanda from UK too. And then we're going to have lots of girls. Then we're going to have Sandra from Australia. We're going to have another girl from Brazil. We're going to have another one. It's not finished, but it's going to be from Asia, from Philippines.
Well, if you're listening, girls, as Nelson said, get on board. This is important. We love having girls out in the ride. They, it's great. It's so important to have that encouragement to get out and give it a go. And it's not a dangerous sport if you've got the right equipment and you are confident with your equipment. Think of it like a bit like, especially not this with steel wheels on here, but think of it like the technology has evolved so rapidly that we've now got boards that are so safe. They're like a Tesla car. They really are. And if a board failed on me at my age, I can know to fall, and I've fallen many times. Look at the scarring on the end of my knuckle there. There we go. Oh God, it's hard to do backwards. Yeah, and at the end of the day, as long as your equipment's double checked like a plane before you go for a fly, you'll check all the wings, all the everything, look underneath the plane. You go check all your equipment before you go. If you're sitting on 40 k's an hour, you don't want it to fail. You don't want to have a problem. So just as long as you look after equipment, maintain it well. It's such a safe sport. Yeah, it's just great. And I think we need to sort of definitely get a group going that's that's going to encourage the whole family to get involved, which would be so much fun, And then, of course, the extreme guys can go out on their own and do their own thing and take off and do what they want to do. But it's one of those things where, I think it's a very exciting direction for electric skateboarding, 100% sure. That's why I tell you guys,
in these interviews is going to be a special lady who's going to make the interviews when it's the group from girls,
Yeah.
because I'm going to be there changing the sets and everything, but it's going to be a girl who's going to interview the girls.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
brilliant.
that is like,
That's
for me, I think that is fantastic, because I think that is going to be more a lady asking to another lady.
yeah.
I think it's going to be
About
easy because they
yeah.
know always everything, and I'm going to be in a background. I'm going to help because, like I said, this is not my show. This is the show from all of us. That is
Oh,
for
that's
all
beautiful.
of us. And when and
And also,
in
what a great idea! That's a great idea. Like, you can't see my panel here. I've got my buttons, but
yeah, I have it here. I have it here. I have it here, my friend.
yeah.
I
Oh, that's
have it here.
awesome. Yeah, so this what you're doing, Nelson, is so important because I know Eastgate London are doing amazing work with their podcast. There's also another gentleman in the States doing Eastgate podcast there. Doing some amazing work as well, and it's so important to be able to bring all this thought together and all this stuff
Mhm.
together, because then it's a think tank. It's people will, if we're not thinking together, we're not going to grow as a sport. And we've got a lot of the sports have got a head start on us. They've got 30, 40 years bike riding, skiing up 100 years. We've got to get moving quickly and
Yeah.
make this a really neat, clean industry and sport that's going to be going for years and years. Who knows what the future will be? But I think we'll get down to a powered system which is going to be the size of one battery, the battery the size of a cigarette packet that'll do about 200 k's. It's going to come to a point where something I know is coming very soon that's going to
Hmm.
blow everyone away with that kind of technology. And then very soon, this year on my channel, and the
Yes, I
person
hope so.
inventing that is quite insane. Like, you remember, we can thank when we hold our remote controls. I haven't got one right with me now, but when you hold your remote controls, you remember those remote controls were invented by a man called Tesla, and not the Tesla car,
Hmm.
but Nikola Tesla. And from Croatia, this young man came to America with an amazing dream, but he went to the World Fair. I think I told people this before. At the World Fair in 1899, Nelson, and he went down to his lightning show and everything, and he was employed by George Westinghouse, and he did all this stuff, and Edison, Thomas Edison was there with his light bulbs. But he went down to this lake, the World Fair in New York, and he opened a box and put this boat in the water. And then he lifted up the handles on this box and started moving the handles. And people were saying, what is he doing? And this boat started turning around and going out to the middle of the lake and going round and round. He was controlling the boat without any wires. And this
Hmm.
is 1899. And what it was we know now as wireless technology, but he was inventor of wireless technology. So we can now thank him not having to hold a remote with one of these on a cord. We've now got to thank Tesla for that. And that technology, when he got back, they said, open the boat, there's midgets in there, take it out, they got midgets. And he opened the boat, there was nothing in there but all these wires and this sophisticated coils. And so, seeing that technology now coming into us, 120 years later, and that's one of the most incredible aspects of electric skateboarding is your remote control in your pocket or in your hand. I always the novelty doesn't wear off. The novelty of holding a remote control, it's quite an amazing thing. So there's more stuff coming. There's more stuff. So if you're only 20 out there or 25, there's stuff coming in your lifetime where, holy moly, I know stuff's coming in the next year that's going to blow everything away. So you won't be batteries anymore. All this is going, and I can promise you heard it here first, 2021, and that will come very quickly, and it'll just change everything. But don't hold off buying a board at the moment. If you want to buy a regular board with a lithium battery, go for it. But things are going to change radically in the next 12 months. I'm going to tell you that now.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Now we're going to go to some small questions, like I
Mm.
always do for everybody,
Oh yeah,
because that is
absolutely.
very important to know your opinion
Mm.
about. First of all, we ask you, guys, if you want to see the video in the beginning of the video, he told a little more about the history of skateboards and
Yeah.
how everything
Some of these
started. Yes.
boards here, these are 50 years old. Just rewind back and watch the history of electric skateboarding, and it's very important to that people know where the origins came from, and I won't spoil
Yes.
it for you, but you have to watch it. We came from here, the electric skateboard industry,
Yeah.
and you have to watch that. So rewind back to the start. It's clearly documented, and yeah, so it's
Yeah.
important.
I think it's very important for you because then you're going to see how many how Andre started so many years before of us, how they experienced from him because he
Oh,
knows what
thank
he's
you.
talking about, and that is good for everybody to have a little more of the history of the skateboards of this industry. I think some of us, like me, I was one of them. I was not knowing so much from ace skateboards like
Yeah.
today, like with Andre. I
Oh,
learned a
thank
little
you.
more about him. And that's why I love this guy. That's why I think it's very important for you to know because sometimes you say, oh, that is a nice video, but you don't know the background, and it give you this information that you need to
Yeah,
know
thank you.
in the future.
It's it's
No,
true, you
thank
know.
you.
People
Thank,
look. People will sum people up very quickly and say, you know, I don't like that guy. I don't like his face. I don't like the way he talks, or he's a salesman. But you know, I've always tried to be. I've always tried to be very transparent, very honest. What I do, I'm a likable guy. I really don't have any enemies. I'm not in this for any other industry reason, but just to help people. And you know, I have been a bit slack on the comments and getting back to people because I've been so busy doing so much stuff at the moment. So much is happening on the channel in different directions. But I promise you, I'm going to sit down now because I had a little bit of a small knee injury, and I'm going to be out of action for a week. So I'll be doing a lot of comments. So if you have been on my channel and you've made comments, you will get responded back 100%. And you'll get comments back on that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that, you know, it's really important to understand that, you know, we're all trying to do, you know, our own little thing, our own journey. And, you know, my major role is to help people like a coach get into this and get into it correctly and get into the right equipment that suits your needs. So you have to spend too much or you want to spend a lot of money, you know, I can advise on that. And, you know, I can make more money going out and coaching people to ride, and
of
which I've done
course.
to hundreds of people. But I'm happy just doing this. And I think that's where we're going to be looking. But yeah, thank you so much, Nelson, because that people do get the wrong impression, I think, sometimes of me when they watch me, and it's not about that. And you know, I'm going to try and be a bit more myself, a bit more funny, a bit more my normal
Mhm.
quirky self over the next year, and people will understand my personality and not just this, you know, person reviewing boards. Yeah. So thanks, Nelson. That's
Yeah,
really
but
lovely. Thank you.
you make it in a special way, and that is the important thing. That's why I'm always my idea here is always. I know that you don't win nothing with this. I know that most of the guys don't win nothing with this. We are making
Yeah.
skateboards reviews because it's very difficult. First of all,
Mm.
I think everybody deserves to win a little more money because that is lots of work. But okay, you don't receive nothing. We do it this more
Yeah.
by fun. That's why
That's right.
the people I bring here is people like you who try to create something for our community. That's why
Yeah.
you are here,
Absolutely.
and you don't have to tell me thank you for. No, I have to thank you for the hard work that you make for all of us. My
Oh,
friend,
thank
there
you,
is a
Nelson.
question now here
Yeah.
for you.
I'm reading
The,
it now. So from Quinn, yeah. Quinn saying,
yeah,
how much would you think a good beginner's board would cost? That's the one, yeah. And how much
yeah.
would you pay for a top end board? Okay, Quinn. I'm not sure if you're new to the sport or you're looking at buying a board for the first time, but look, you can't skimp on getting a board because I think if you go too cheap, you're going to have issues with potential longevity and maintenance of the board and just the pure component qualities of that board. The moment we're hitting a peak now where we've gone like this and now it's leveled off to a point where there's a lot of affordable the technology, and thanks to me bringing the Chinese market to the Western world 6 years ago, I've really pushed that envelope and made people like Evolve and Boosted and Metro Board and in Champa, everywhere in the world, and Lacroix saying, God, you know, these Chinese boards are starting to bite at our heels. They're starting to give us a bit of trouble. People are buying that over our stuff. So this is all good, right? So my advice for an early board, a learning board, I'd definitely probably go a belt drive, and I'd also go something that's got a more a mini all-terrain wheel. A perfect board, for example, would be the Beast board from Viper. I've got it upstairs. It's for $550, I think, less my discount code was $550 US. It's an incredible price board. Takes my weight, 100 kilos, nearly up a hill, 22 degrees on my hill number 3. I was the first person in the world to do a hill climb test, independent range, independent speed test for 5 years ago. Before everyone, they were just doing one 10-minute video and thumbs up. And I made these guys really work hard at these reviews. I had to then lift their game because Penman's doing bloody 3 reviews. So my hill number 3 looks quite cheesy and not very steep and not very exciting, but it works. With my weight standing still, taking off from a 23% hill, it really is a taxing on that board. I've had LaCroix go up there and it doesn't go as fast as you think. So believe me, that's a deceiving hill test. So the Beast board for an early one. Number 2, moving on to the more top of the range stuff. At the moment, I'd spend $2,500 to get a decent top range board. And you got from LaCroix, you've got, I like Evolve, but there's some issues with them that I personally don't think is maybe lack a little bit of stuff like range and the batteries and stuff. But something like the new Transite boards or the direct drive, I fall in love with direct drive. It's just so simple, so it just works. It's like a Panzer tank. That's the best way of analogy. It just goes, it just does its thing. Or Evolve, a GTR carbon, but I'd go around about up to $2,000 if you want. If you got money's no question, $2,500 would be something. I wouldn't go more than that. I mean, the Equil I got's $4,000.
I think he's looking about 1,000.
Oh yeah. Oh, 1,000. Okay, Wonder chipboard. Okay, you know what? I'm not here to tell you what you should buy, but what works for me, the Vireal RS is a beautiful board. It is. I know Vic gets his motors from the same factory as Evolve. I know that they're actually 6368 motors. They're good belts. They're incredibly quiet. I've smashed my RS Vireal and I can't kill it. And it is a nice board, as well as the TRX Lycon, another good board belt drive. You can't go wrong with those. They're around the $1,000 mark. Yeah, about the 1,000. Now you're talking US or Australian, Quinn? I think you're talking. Well, US, you'll definitely get that price range. Look at the new 20 amp hour battery. I'm actually getting the RS 20 amp hour. It's the first 20 amp hour in the world, I think. I must say that will be an interesting long range test. Okay, and I got 50 kilometers on the Transite 12S3P last week. 50 kilometers sitting on 38 k's an hour. So if that's what the new 50Es can do on the 21700 cells, imagine what a 20 amp hour that Vic's going to bring out. That's going to have the same kind of cells. But look, we're talking 60-kilometer range. Who wants that? I don't know. That's just ridiculous. No one in their right mind was sitting on a skateboard for 6 hours. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking at if you've got that price mark. I mean, again, I'm not affiliated with these companies. I don't make any money. I have a little code there, but it's not for me. It's for Vic to know that my videos are working. So if he gives me a board, he's not going to waste the money and give me a board, and that's the transparency in that whole aspect. So, so there's a couple there, but check my channel out because it's all self-explanatory in the channel. Quinn, you'll see what's there and what I recommend. Okay. Eve on board, very scary. Okay. Pushing out 50 k's was going fast and getting better involved. I agree. The Eve on boards are beautiful. Scott Davies has done them. I don't do some stuff. Scott does those, and they're a beautiful board. Look, there's so many boards coming out of China now that are really impressing, like the X-Ways. There's just some really nice, just slick units. They've finally got it right. Now, remember, Hobbywing are not your average company. They are a multi-million-dollar company that have been in RC controllers for 30 or 22 years. Skateboarding is their little side thing on the side they've done the last 5 years. But they do know how to make a really good controller, a really good set of motors now, and the synergy of that is pretty impressive. I'll be honest, it's like a Toyota Corolla. It works. It works. So if you get the Hobbywing motors controllers like on the Beast board and the Lycon, and then you can't go wrong. And this is what's happening now. We're getting to a point now where the Chinese are doing what the Japanese did after the Second World War. Let's pull things apart, remake them slightly better. And whoa, it's opening up a Pandora's box for the big mainstream companies like in Canada, America, and England and Tramper. It's really getting scary. So the Evon board, that's awesome. Scott's got some photos, and also check out Scott Davies' channel as well, because Scott's here in Sydney with me, and he's got a bigger range of sort of other boards, and I handpick mine a little bit differently. So check out that. But if you're looking at getting a new board, My channel doesn't have negative boards. So if you're looking for a lot of negative comments on my channel, you won't get them because I'm not going to waste my time on those. They go back to the factory, or I just say no. I've said no to 6 boards this month, or 5, I think they are, including a scooter yesterday. So I mean, I'm not going to do things I don't know ahead of time that are good, So yeah, that's hope that answers that.
Yeah, that's good. Let's go to the new thing. For you, my friend, Andrea, what you
I love that.
recommend?
Andrea, muy poco aqui adesso, por favor.
That's
Muy poco
Portuguese.
español.
Portuguese is and it's Italian and Spanish is similar.
It's very good. Your English is brilliant. Your English is beautiful, Nelson.
Every day now I'm training.
So you speak 4 languages pretty much, do you? 4.
I think I speak more. I
Oh
speak
my
French.
God.
I speak French, English, German,
Oh my God.
Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. That's too much.
Jeez, I can't believe it. It's amazing. Oh my God. Incredible.
But let's talk about you, my friend. What do you think about protections? For you, what you Andre, what you recommend for the people who are starting now or are riding, because every day the boards is coming faster.
Absolutely.
What is your recommendation?
Okay, so it's electric skateboarding is very similar to any sport, especially any extreme sport where you start off when you're inexperienced. You've got to be very well protected, whether it's parachuting or abseiling or whether it's gliding or skiing. You've got to be well protected if you're learning because you're going to fall a lot. When you watch me, I've been doing this for 50 years, so I really very rarely fall, to be honest, and I hardly wear except for my helmet, which is I do wear in traffic because cars are unpredictable and people who drive cars are more unpredictable. So I always wear a helmet every time I'm going in traffic. If I'm going to the local park or the back streets to Manly Beach, I might wear my Kevlar foam helmet like this, which is super hard. But it's going to help me for what I'm not going to lay on my head. Look, to be honest, I've gone through this argument many times with people that when Usain Bolt runs 100 meters, he's not going to dive on his head, and he runs the same speed as some of these boards go, 36 k's an hour, 37, or he does 38. You're not going to land on your head because it's impossible to because you're not straddling a bike, you're not straddling something to flip you, so you're going to always land on your elbows or your hands or your knees. Now, I have to laugh at some of the latest technology coming out of some Chinese companies that are making these pads are all material and rubber. That's not how it works. When you hit the ground, you've got to have what they had in the 70s, the 80s, and proper cup dome things that slide and like to slide your hand. Because when you hit the ground, you don't want it to jolt your whole shoulder. You want it to slide. So you really want these, get knee pads with cups, get knee pads that are hard plastic Kevlar or even metal. But I just can't believe that. You see guys in pools and half pools, they slide on their knees and hands. So that's the first thing. Knee pads are a must. Helmet is an absolute. Gloves now, because of my 1-4 on that scar there, I wear gloves on that hand, especially when I'm filming now all the time. So gloves important. And elbow pads, not so. For me, I don't think you're going to land a lot in your elbows, but when you're learning, absolutely elbow pads are important. But pad up for sure, and just know your limits. But for me, when I ride with a helmet, I ride with knee pads 100% all the time. But I do big cup knee pads. I get the ones that are like an ice cream bucket over your knee, so your knee doesn't actually touch the actual ground. It's the cups that cocoons it, and you might get hit up on the top of the thigh and hit on the shin, but your knee is protected. I think that's a much better pad. The cheapest chips, get them from China. Seriously, $30 US for a kit of that, and they will work as well as the big name gel stuff and all that rubbish under your clothes. If you want to have something hide a pad under your clothes, forget it. You shouldn't be riding. Just put your pads on. My board shorts hang over my knee pads, and you can't really see them. You'll see in my videos I'm wearing my knee pads, the big cup ones, the big plastic Kevlar. So first of all, yes, definitely helmets. All padding's important, and definitely the bare feet thing, I'll often ride sometimes in bare feet on the electric skateboard. I know people are going to cringe at that, but you very rarely will hit your feet. If you're going to hit anything, you hit elbows, knees, and pads, and elbows and hands. But in the 60s, everyone rode these boards. They all rode these with bare feet. That was the idea. You rode bare feet, and that was the... And, I think sometimes in summer in Australia, we often don't wear shoes. It'll be a shock to a lot of Europeans. We walk into shops with those shoes. That's what we do. You see Chris Helmsworth and Byron Bay walks around with those shoes on. That's normal. So, yeah, riding Australia with bare feet in summer, sometimes I do that. It's a good pedicure for your feet with the with the deck. Oh, I'll pop my microphone out.
There's no problem.
There we go. I'll put that again. We're back live again. So yes, I hope that answered the question regarding padding. Yes, so definitely pad up, guys. Very important. 100%.
What do you think about for you? The question I make always for you. What do you think about what is for you, Andre? What is for you the limit, a speed limit of one board that you recommend for you to have a board? What do you think is
the minimum speed? Yeah. Okay. Look, it's funny. Speed is always, when I get a lot of questions on my channel, it's always about, how fast? What's top speed? What's top speed? How fast to go? Look, if you can't run fast, on the board, it's doing pretty well. I don't know what the whole thing of speed's about, because I come from a background of surfing and carving and just going up embankments and having fun. It's not about, going down speed and fast and then a group ride going past everybody and being the fastest. It is a Freud thing. People want to get bigger, better, faster. More, that's a Freud. We know that. It's just a psychological thing. So to me, as long as a board has got to go 36 Ks an hour. That's an absolute minimum. 36 Ks an hour is what I would say the minimum speed for a board. I've got the Team G H9 does 30 Ks an hour. I ride it often to the shops. It's a retro, pinstripe wooden, beautiful, Team G. It's a real funky board. And when I walk the beach, everyone asks questions about, is that a skateboard? Where's the battery? It's in the wood. And so that goes 30 Ks an hour. That does me. I'm happy with that. And 30 Ks an hour when you're flying along, that's sort of fun. But if you're going on a group ride, you need to go 36 Ks minimum. But I think the top speed I would go on a group ride would probably be 45, 48 Ks an hour. If I really wanted to, just get some speed, because there's a bit of adrenaline getting speed. I agree with that. But I wouldn't go with 50 Ks an hour on a board. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's really. But then again, there's a lot of speed junkies out there that love this stuff. Especially the LaCroix riders, they love to go over 50. And I've done 55 in a board. It's exciting. But it's each for each. But for riding generally, what are you in it for? Are you in it for carving and style and just therapeutic enjoyment from a surfing background?
Next question.
Yeah, or are you in it to commute and to get somewhere fast, or to showcase the speed? It's a tough one. It's a tough one.
That's why it comes. My next question was together with this one. That's why for you, what is the important thing? What you like more, speed or carving?
Okay, speed of 100% carving. So to me, be able to carve is a very show pony stuff. When you're on a group ride and you can start carving around and do circles around, that is better than walking your board, and it's better than doing any fast speed. Anyone can go fast and straight, but if you can carve and you've got style and Dogtown,
it's like surfing.
It is, and I've come from guys, apologize. I've come from a surfing background as well as a skating background since 1969. But I treat my riding like a wave. Everything I'm looking for a line on a wave, and I'm always looking for the enjoyment of surfing. So I suppose if you're not into that, that's fine. Speed might be your forte and maybe your preference. But for me, it's carving and being able to do some nice carves. Because when you get centrifugal force and gravity into a turn, it's like skiing. Does everyone just ski down a mountain straight? Nah, they carve. They get the movement, and it's addictive because it's a centrifugal, what's the word? Gravity field. It's G-force. But Shane Muddle, a friend of mine and a subscriber, he loves speed. He's a downhill speed rider, so speed is very important. Look, it is a much of the muchness. It's up to what you want. But if you're learning in the sport, just work out what you want to get out of it, what you want to do out of it. Is it commuting? Is it fun? Is it just a Sunday afternoon with music? When I'm down a bit sometimes, which is very rare, maybe once a year, when I get my tax bill or something, I will go for a ride, put my headphones on, listen to the Beach Boys, and I feel like I'm in Hawaii, and late at night, pitch black around the streets. It's just, you can't go, you don't need a therapist, you don't need anything for that, no medication, just go and do that.
Next question, my friend.
Haydie's saying Andrew has one of the most surfy styles I've seen. Thank you, Haydie. Thank you so much. That's such a good compliment. I'm about to showcase more stuff and more stylish. I'm going to do a bit of switch foot and walking the board stuff later. But I must say there's going to be more style coming in, more technique with the thumb technique, which means when you turn, it's called a thumb to eye. So when you turn, you don't look to the ground, you look up and you put your thumb up, and as you open your whole arm up, and you're going like that, you're opening up like a wave, and you come back. Same when you cut back, your thumb comes down, and you come back, and you're looking down. It's all about your eye and your direction, and there's nothing more beautiful in style. I mean, Tony Alva. I mean, one of my very favorite. I met Tony many years ago at Queen's Park, and also when I was in California once surfing and skateboarding, and he said that you can't make style, you can't create style. Not that I'm got great style, but you just can't. You either got it or you haven't, but you can learn it, and you can. It's very, very addictive when you get into learning how to feel your body on a board. It's just better than being a stick figure, like he says, on a board. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that's it's something that you're just, if you watch my riding, I do ride different to anybody else. I think there's no one I see out there who rides similar to me. I don't know. I don't see anyone. That's why I try and get the surf guys across into the industry of skateboarding, because I think we need the surf bum dudes. Hey, bummer, dude. We need some of those guys to come across. They're very laid back and very cool. They're not super competitive. They're not aggressive, and they're not kind of, mine's better than yours. And I think that we need to get the surf guys across because it'll help them surfing. And when the surf's flat, they can ride, and they're really cool guys. So hopefully my channel will introduce some of the carving guys, the surfing guys into the industry, and the more the merrier. And it's just a different flavor coming through. It's just it changes the whole dynamics of the sport.
Yeah, that's why I come to the next question. Is like, what do you love more, street or off-road? Wheel?
Okay, that's an easy one for me, hands down. I like street. I love bitumen. I love urethane. I love the tearing sound of urethane on roads. That humming and that tearing sound of the ripping of a urethane is addictive. Just, I suppose, as a big pneumatic tire on the outback, trails and bush and rabble and tearing up leaves, but it's not where I've come from. So I have done it because I've got the Eck wheel and I've been off road on that. I just find it too a bit unsettling and a bit unforgiving, because if you do hit a rock or hit something, you got sticks and trees and stuff, and I tend to. I'm going to get into it more, and I'll tell you more when I get that Eck wheel out on the sand dunes and bush, and I'll tell you more. But for me, definitely just bitumen riding. I prefer a urethane wheel over a pneumatic. I also call them pram wheels. I love them because I'm now enjoying the bad roads and going over nice pneumatic tires. But I must say, I'm a true to the core skater. I love urethane. I love that feeling of that. It's just so exciting, that feel on the road. It's like a Formula One car. It just goes. Yeah. So
because I have you riding 4 wheels. I think that is a. I think
yes,
the 4 wheels.
That's right. That was the planetary gearing Eck wheel, that big beast. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun, I must say, with those kind of. Now, I rode that the other day to a friend of mine's house in Collaroy, and it was literally 15 k's or 15 k's each way. And I must say, with the new Steez lights on there, these lights coming out of, big shout out to a guy called he's a Chinese guy, Hank Wang. No, Hank Wang. Sorry, I couldn't get it right. I haven't met the guy. Hank Wang is the genius of torches, and he's got this thing called a Steez light. And we've named it Steez light. It's basically his military light, but it's got like 5,000 lumens per light. When I put those on that board and I'm on the road, I feel like you get instant respect. Nelson, you'll come to an intersection, they'll think you're a car, they'll pull over. If you put a Perspex bubble over it, it's actually a car.
But what is from what country come this board?
Okay, we had a lot of debates about this, and I had got in a bit of strife, trying to educate a few people online about the two companies that are both competing very heavily in China. One's called Eck Mobile. And one's called Eck Wheel. Now, with all the research I've done and also numerous patents I've checked and everything, it looks like Ekwheel with 100% original inventors of that board, that design, which is a knockoff of the Baja board, essentially. It's pretty much a knockoff. But, there's been a lot of fanboys out there saying, oh, they copied they. I said, well, they haven't, because I've got the blueprints and the patents. I know who invented the egg first, and was the chicken. The chicken was, obviously Ekwheel. So tell long story short, it's a Chinese board, Nelson, a very powerful planetary gearing, 12,000 watts. That's 3,000 per motor. Planetary gearing, anodized, whole thing's anodized, coated. It's a beautiful board. Like when you ride this thing, it is literally goes over anything. And, we got a guy here in Sydney, a nice guy, David, who's got the Ekmobile 24, and he rides it really well with straps. There's nothing wrong with any of these boards, but, when you start saying someone copied someone, you've got to put people straight who the original. There's a lot of people put a lot of work into their R&D, and it's unfair that other companies come across and take that, that ownership from them, and it's a bit cruel, really. But that's a nice board. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's pretty powerful. I mean, I only got out of third. I couldn't get out of third speed in it. It's just too powerful. So I'll go 0 to 55 in about 4 seconds. That quick. You virtually got to lean forward. You got to lean forward. It's not far off a Lacroix. I've ridden the Lacroix. Beautiful boards. Yeah, super powerful. A bit more power again than Lacroix, but you'll see me take a hill in my hill climb test where I did 17 seconds uphill 4 and stuff. So it carves. You can see it carves pretty well. It's not a bad board, but it's a beast. It's 22 kilograms in weight. It's not the sort of thing you want to run out of battery, but it's got a significant battery, and it's got a 1,170 amp hour. It's got I've got 42 Ks on that range, but I went the other day 16 Ks to my friend's house and back, and she lives up at Coleroy, and I got back and it was on full battery. So I think it would get 55, 60 K range. So if you are looking at something to commute, if you're an off-road West America, in Germany forest, this is an awesome board. It is really incredible board that Jay's saying, have you had much to do with Frank from Ekwheel? Yes, Jay, look, good question. I know Frank well. Frank contacted me about 3 years ago, and I reviewed the Zulu board, as you probably saw, Jay. And Frank's a mate. He's a good friend. But I think he's stepping away from his involvement with Ekwheel in terms of any sort of distributing, or I'm been dealing with the Ekwheel board. They call themselves online, and they're a lovely bunch of Chinese people. Don't speak really great English, but look, I'm in the throes of trying to talk to them about the controller. Maybe put in a dual flip sky. I think it's got too much grunt for me. I mean, I'm a pretty experienced rider, Jay, and when I hit that thing, and I know you've ridden it. I know you've ridden it too. I think it just is just too powerful. Frankly, I think it's probably overkill. So it's probably not needed. Then again, I'm 94 kilos. It does, I think on high battery, it's got a bit too much bite. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know. Now let's go to another one that is very important, like this. What do you love more? Do you love more to ride alone, ride with groups, or?
Oh wow, that's an easy one. I can cut you off there. Okay. Yes. That was a pretty. Okay, so okay. So with me, I'm a bit of a loner. I live on my own. I lost my wife to cancer in 2000, and I haven't remarried. I've got a beautiful daughter in Queensland, and she's gorgeous, Georgie. She's everything to me. But I've been on my own, and I surf obviously alone. I'm used to doing that, so I really do some of my best riding and my best slides and my best kind of late night rides and everything, and my trick stuff. I do that on my own. I just like going out. I like to not. I just do that on my own. I really enjoy riding alone, but I do hook up with Scott, and I had a lovely ride the other night with Scott Davies down to Mossman, right down to the Mossman Wharf, and it was an epic ride. And we also, but I really enjoy the long range distance test, going on my own and just putting my music on, and it's just very therapeutic. I mean, the group rides can become a bit sketchy and a bit dangerous. I had a couple of falls in my whole life ever, and they've been on group rides. So, I think we've got to be careful. If you go on group rides, just keep your distance and make sure you don't have any, Evolve remotes on the old remotes.
Sorry, my friend. I was thinking now of one thing, and now that is Jay Boston here, now that you are here, now that is Scott here,
Yep.
You are the biggest three YouTubers in Australia.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
It's nice for Jay to be on
yeah.
today, and I'm really, really, really humbled
What
that
what
Jay's
what,
coming
what
and watching it.
do you live very far one from another?
Well, no, I live in Sydney. Jay Boston lives in Melbourne, and I've got to get down there at some point. I promised to ride with the
Scott
guys. We couldn't get down there because of the
and
COVID and
Scott.
everything. Scott met me on one of my group. I went on a group ride with the guys after about 2 years on my channel, and Scott was on the ride. He said, "Oh man, I love your channel. I watch your channel all the time." And
And
he hadn't started his channel out, but he lives not far. He lives about
and I want to know, I
5 k's
have
away.
another person. Another
Mm.
person is Nate. Nate is a
Yeah, Nate.
YouTuber.
Now I haven't met Nate yet, but I've heard of him and I have seen some of his videos. He's doing some great
Mhm.
stuff. He's in Queensland, so when I get up
Yeah.
there, Nate, if you're watching or if you watch us later on, I will definitely. I'm going to Queensland to see my daughter in 2 weeks. I'll be taking the Equwheel up there, the Transite, a few boards. I'll be riding around the Gold Coast, so there'll be a couple of really good vlogs up there of me riding the Gold Coast and Byron Bay. Hopefully, I'll meet someone celebrity up there and we can get an interview or get Chris Helmsworth to ride one of the boards. That'd
And
be
now
awesome.
I have a proposal for you. When we're
Yeah.
going to see the four of you together to make a
Oh, that'd be
special,
epic. The
huh?
Beatles.
I, I, go-
Who's the drummer?
I'm going to
Me.
make like an invitation for you four. That is the four I know. I know that. I think
Oh,
it's
that's
Zach.
very sweet. We're
Zach,
all
Zach,
very. I think
you
we're
have
all very
Zach.
humble. I think we're all
Zach
very
is from
humble. And Zach,
Australia.
yeah, Zachary. Well, Zach's also Zach. Hello, Zach. Yes, you're doing amazing stuff. Local to you all. I would be there, USA. Yeah, absolutely.
This
Look,
this four persons. Why don't you come one day together and do something special?
I think
That
we
is
should. I
just
think we should actually. Yeah, we should. That would be pretty. That'd be pretty epic actually to do a collab like that. I haven't done any collab to be honest. I started this journey on my own as a loner. I did that first video before anyone. I thought, what am I doing? There's people like Sam Sheffer and yeah, what's his name? Sorry.
you have Nate, you have Scott, you have Jay
Oh
Boss,
no,
and then you have
the big.
Andreas.
I
The-
mean, like Casey Neistat. I did that when I started off. I didn't know anyone. I was just doing this on my own. I just gave it a go, and since I've done that, I mean, Jay's been doing a lot of stuff right back 5 years ago as well. But at the end of the day, I think now it's sort of really fun to have other people sort of all doing this. So I'm going to definitely talk to Scott and Jay, and we'll definitely do something. I think at some point, be nice to have a group together ride and yeah, that'll be awesome. So I think Melbourne with the go, maybe Scott and I could go down to Melbourne. That would be probably the logical thing.
So I give the idea for you guys. I hope that you four of you to come together, do something special for all of us.
Yeah,
Because
and
in this day,
and
maybe
Nate
you
too.
can,
Nate, well, Nate's in Queensland, so you have to come down. We're all in different states. See, Australia's a really big country. It's we'll cover all of Europe. It's so big. Like to drive to Queensland will take me 12 hours. I think for you, you'd get across to Russia in 12 hours, wouldn't you?
Mhm.
But
yeah. I hope that you find this idea good and you make something for us. And one of you bring your special board,
Yeah.
and then you can share with us a video with the Australia YouTuber guys who create so many things for us. That was not
Yeah.
a bad idea, and everybody has lots of fun.
Oh, well, definitely. We're going to organise that. I might even bring my Golden Breed. How's that? My 1972 Golden Breed. Look at that, Tisa. That's a great board.
Make
Look
a
at that.
day of coffee and speaking the four of you. Make a
Yeah,
like
let's do it. We'll have to do it. Look, it's been a hell of a year here with COVID and everything. We've had borders shut, Nelson, but we'll network after this and have a chat about it all. And we'll definitely have a talk about that because I think at the end of the day, it'd be great to I haven't met Jay. I haven't even had a chance to go down there. I've been so busy with helping a friend, had a mental breakdown, looking after her, and I've been have a lot of issues personally. I've been trying to deal with. I'm trying to renovate my house and put a fireplace here. You'll see eventually a fireplace coming in here, a massive sandstone one. So I'll be doing a whole vlog on how to build a sandstone fireplace. A lot of stuff's going to happen, but some exciting stuff coming on the channel that's all different. Something I'd love to tell you, but some technology coming that is going to be mind blowing. So. Look, just honestly, if you haven't think of subscribing, consider subscribing to the channel. But I don't care about subscribing. I don't care about
you care. Yeah, guys, if you have a chance, listen to me. If you have a chance, guys, this is like this. That is simple. You just have to with one finger, you just click subscribe, click like, because like is very important for all of us YouTubers.
Yeah.
And you can write something, give ideas, tell
Mm.
how do you what was your what you think about the video. Help these guys today. Now we have the Thomas. Thomas is he has a channel in UK, and there
Yep.
is lots of
I know
YouTubers
Thomas.
here
Yep.
to see you, my friend, and that is very special. That's why I always say, guys, go to the channels, help
Yeah.
the guys. You're not doing something special. You're going to receive information, because that is lots of work, and not like he said. If you want to subscribe. That is going
Yeah, I
to
think you're right.
write
Look,
something.
for me, I mean, I've just unmonetized my channel because I just don't want to be affiliated with any money out of my channel. I don't need the money. To be honest, I've got a
Uh-huh.
government pension, a government
Mhm.
super. I was in the government for 30 years. I've got a very good little package. So I've got an income for life. I don't have to worry about money. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about money. It's not about making money. I like getting the odd board. I like getting a free board, but it's got to be good. It's got to work. If it doesn't, it goes back, and I won't recommend it. Won't make the channel. So whatever I get, if it works, I share it, and that's what I've been doing since word go. And yes, it's one of those things where I think at the end of the day, is all I want to do is try and make an impact to help people and make a difference. And I think at the end of the day, it's working. And people realizing that if you want to go and get advice, you need to go to the right people and people who are doing it every day. And like yourself and myself and Jay and Scott and Nate and a lot of people around the world. There's amazing reviews. Daniel Kwan and Ronnie Samiento. There's people really, and Average Skate reviews and Metric Skate, and it goes on and on and on. Braille Skate. At the end of the day, we're all here trying to make a difference and trying to help people. And
Oh, thank you, Jade.
it'll
Jade
be
saying
really good.
put the
I'm gonna
500 subscribers.
Yeah, I'm going to post there. Good work, Jay. I'm going to post this on my channel. I've done a couple of guest speaking roles with the Escape guys from London, but Nelson, I'm going to post this on my channel. Can you give me you'll have to talk later, give me the whole video. I'll just screen record the whole thing, whatever. And I want to get some subs for you because this has got to grow. You've got some amazing guests on. You have the most amazing infrastructure, technology. You
No,
should
my
be
friend.
totally commended on the work you've done. And this is just incredible.
No,
So
you don't understand. You have to understand. The people are here because of you, my friend. This
I
is
don't
your
think that.
day.
Oh, I don't
Yes,
think I
yes,
no.
yes,
Oh, that's so
yes.
nice.
You
So
you have to
nice.
you have to listen like this. That's what I speak with Jay Bolson. He was an interviewer with me,
Yeah.
and I say to everyone who comes to the channel, this is a day for you. The people come to see you.
Oh, that's
You are the
lovely.
special one. Everybody's
Yeah.
here because of you, my friend.
Oh,
That's
well, I
why.
hope I've made, in 5 or 6 years I've been doing this. I hope I've made some impression to help people. And at the end of the day, there's more to come. There's more exciting stuff. I want this channel to grow into something a little bit different, a more of a fun adventure, and more of a, my more personality, my funny side. I've done stand-up comedy. I've done a whole lot of stuff in my life, and I don't do that on the channel. I keep it just stone-faced and review. But I'm going to start being a bit more funny, a bit myself. Someone said to me,
You have to have
40.
fun, my friend. Enjoy it.
I know exactly, and
First,
at the end
first
of the
of
day,
all, first of all, you have to enjoy this. That's
mm,
if you lose this love, you're not going to do it. I do it this because I love this.
yeah, and I love what you're doing over there. The whole community, the boards. I mean, you guys. Everything happening in Europe is just happening at such a fast level. Like it's just moving again and again and again, and it's just sort of going. And I think Aussies, we're going to keep our wits about us because you guys are doing some, and plus the states. Well, most of my subscribers from Southern California, they're all from Bummeradu. They're from down there. They're skaters, so they really are. Oh, Jason,
Eh,
yeah. So those guys in Southern California, I really do thank you so much for your
mhm.
support, and the girls too. Yeah, they're great. Jay saying, Andrew, if you could choose, what board would you next for you? If you could choose, what board would be next for you? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, the moment I don't know.
Tricky one.
Yeah, I think I'd like to. I think I'd like to look at uh, another belt drive another belt drive pneumatic tire board, and something that it's something that's mid-priced and nothing too expensive, so I can sort of recommend help people get in the industry. Something that's sort of, I mean, obviously, I've never reviewed it. I've got an Evolve. I've got an Evolve Limited one, but something like maybe Yeah, it's hard to say, Jay. It just I think an all-terrain pneumatic tire belt drive would be carbon, so something like that would be nice to review. And maybe if there's a four-wheel drive belt drive coming out, because of the hills around here at Manly where I live, and the fact that 94 kilos, it's just nice to have that grunt. I did miss that after getting off the Equwheel, going through Curl and around the beaches at Manly. There were hills pretty much like that, so. I love having that power on a hill. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at, probably a four-wheel drive or a belt drive, or maybe even the new Transite all-terrain four-wheel drive hub with the Flip Sky. Yeah, that might be the one to look at next. That's a beast, yeah. Or maybe even a LaCroix board, maybe, because I do like street carving. Yeah, a LaCroix board might be nice to look at. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I got the money to buy one. It just I got no room anymore.
Yeah.
Well, these are all my walls going into a collector's wall. I must tell a little funny story. My sister rang me from the tip about 2 weeks ago and said, about 3 months ago. Forget we've had shutdown, lockdown. She said, "Oh, Andrew, I've got this board here at the tip. Do you want to buy? I know you're into antique boards. Do you want to buy this board? It's $2." And it was a red board like this, and it had this funny little cartoon guy on there with like Fred Flintstone with hair and a wave, and it said Surfer Sam, right? I said, Surfer Sam, I don't know. I'm not interested in that. It looks like a Kmart thing from 1980. Nah, let it go. Anyway, I'm watching the Dogtown Zephyr crew, and Steve was on there, Balsteros. He was actually talking about his wall of boards, his famous antique boards and vintage boards. He's going, "I've got this one, which is, for 1961. I've got this one." And then I'm watching having a hamburger workout, and he goes, "And I got this one from Australia, very hard to get and very rare, Surfer Sam." And I went, "What the?" And he said, "Yeah, I had to get this. I had to pay a lot of money for this." So I quickly rung up the tip. And I said, "Is it still there?" And that wasn't there, right? And I've seen some guy in Gumtree. He's just posted the Surfer Sam for $12,347. Okay, all I can say with that is I just lost 12 grand. I could have got it for $2. So I like collecting antique boards.
Yeah, if I know it, because I learned it today, I'm going to make a research. I'm going to try to find it some boards like you to have it for me.
It's so important. This is art now. This is becoming the new art. This board, the Golden Breed, was, a lot of people on this channel will not understand unless they're 50 plus, right, age. But this was as rare as scarce as a hen's teeth. This has got Detroit wheels on the front there, surfer wheels on the front, and these trucks are all Chicago trucks. And this is like artwork now. This is like having
But the deck is what is the deck?
It's all fiberglass. It's actually fiberglass, and it's all layered fiberglass. So what they did in those days, it was very big to do a fiberglass deck. And actually, these came out of a factory in Sydney called Bennett Surfboards. And Bennett got into bed with Golden Breed, who was an American company who actually got bought out by Australian Surfer. And he developed these boards and said to a company, "Look, let's get into it." And they are incredibly hard. And he basically produced these, only about 400. So I got that on eBay for $200 from up. Yeah. So when you collect all these, there's so much fun on the wall. They're going to be so cool to have on the. Oh, there we go, on the wall. Wait
a second. Then you can see everybody.
Yeah. And on the wall, and this one here, this is digressing from skateboard, but look at this. Is what people used to ride in those days. Look at that. I mean, this is just crazy. And of course, you've got the
that's its history, my friend.
This is 61 though. This is they aren't getting older than this, and this is actually steel wheels. Steel wheels. They're not even, the bearings are in there. They're just in there. You can see them. If I just spin it there, the bearings are in. They're steel. So they're going to spark the whole way down the road. That's a plastic hubcap on that. And look at that. Imagine riding that shit. Imagine trying to ride that. I mean, look at the size of it. But you got to remember, but this is worth about probably $1,000. But that's the size they were. And I know, because you got to remember, when we were writing these things in the 70s, that we weren't getting older men writing it in their 30s. It was mainly kids. But you know, and there's a couple of great skateboard movies I have to show you guys on my channel that's going to blow you away with early skateboarding. And they used to walk the board, and they, you know, bare feet. And so, yeah, so get into it, because Nelson, this is a whole exciting new industry. Art collecting of vintage boards is the whole new thing. And it's better than having a Rembrandt on your wall. You have some 1960s. And in your young life, you're a young whippersnipper like you. When you were my age,
No,
you're
I'm
80.
close to you, my friend.
Oh, no,
I'm
you
close
look
to
at
50,
Oh
my
my
friend.
God, you look younger than that. You know
Oh, my
what? When you
friend.
get to
I'm not.
80, they'll be
No.
hanging down the will, and with the will and last testament is the skateboard goes to Nelson's second son. Oh my that one. Yeah.
No, my
So
friend. I'm not so young, my friend. I'm in 2 years. I'm going to make 50.
oh, congratulations. Well, there you go. Well, that's amazing, amazing.
I'm
Well,
not
you
so.
well
Yeah,
in 3 months I'll be 60. So or
yeah,
actually
we
4
are
months.
not so different, my friend.
I know.
Don't think I'm not so young anymore.
Do you know? Yes, Jay's saying more stable on a trolley. Absolutely. Actually, I'm gonna have a go. I only got it in the mail yesterday. I bought this from the States, and
Mhm.
it's called a flyback. It's a flyback 1962. You can see the flyback written there, and it's had the classic sort of parachute thing and the two flags. And this thing is the oldest skateboard you can get, 1960. Oh, maybe 59. So you know, I'm going to have a ride of that tomorrow. That'd be hilarious. I'll put that on the channel, see if I can even do a slide at night with it.
Don't break it. Don't break
No,
it,
I don't
please.
want to break it. Yeah, I think it's had more than its chance of being broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hilarious. But you know what? Also, you got to remember that in the sport we're in, it's a new sport. So I want to express to people that, because skiing's been around for 100 years, bike riding 100 years. I mean, everything's been around for years and years. Yeah. Now, with skateboarding, especially electric skateboarding, which has come in the last 7 years, we haven't seen anyone getting into their grey 80s, the grey 70s, or the grey hair riding a skateboard. So we're now seeing somewhere on YouTube and videos of guys who are 75 grey hair, who are flicking ollies and riding in bowls. And even Tony Alva, he's a year younger than me, or a year older than me. He's going into bowls and riding. He's got the dreadlocks. He's 61 and he's riding in bowls. So we're going to see the advent in our future. We're going to see guys that, grey hair riding skateboards around in their 70s, just like the guy who rides bikes at 70 or 85. And it's something that's going to be weird. It's never ever happened in any other sport where you've seen the progression of a new sport going into aging population, which is going to be very interesting. So hopefully I can still ride till I'm 75, and I think as long as your bone structure is good and you know what to do, you'll be able to see people in their 75s ride. It'll be the modern day mobility scooter. You wouldn't have to have the flag and the little car. You have one of these things.
Yesterday we was talking about that in a WhatsApp group and showing pictures of guys who more than 17 years old riding, and that was a fantastic because I think like this, my friend. Today I'm going to show you just very fast.
Physics saying I'm 50. Give me a chance, mate.
And then you have snipper. And then you have Scott who put it. Don't break yourself.
I know.
And
I'm getting delayed here. I'm getting
delayed. Jay Boston.
Oh, thanks, Jay. There's more boards coming, and there's a whole look. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm sorry to cut you off, Nelson. I'll come straight back to that.
No problem.
But I'm going to do a documentary. I'm going to do a documentary on the history of skateboarding into electric skateboarding with video footage, interviewing people. I'm going to go to Queensland, interview Adam Riley, the first guy who put a chain motor on the school project in 1991, electric motor. I'll interview Dan Quinn and Matthew Quinn. That's great. And I'll interview these guys who were involved with Epic and skateboards that really led the way in 2004, and obviously fixed skateboards. I'll talk to those guys. I want to interview and do a little documentary on the history of skateboarding, electric skateboarding, because I think it needs to be documented. It needs to be done properly so that we know where it originates from. And I'll take a lot of information for people about their feedback and what companies were doing things before that, because obviously everyone had a go at it, from Louis Finkel, who's on Wikipedia as the first guy to invent the electric skateboard and patent in 1997, which is total, well, it's not. It's not bullshit. He's an amazing guy, Lewis. A big shout out to Lewis. And it's incredible what he did in 1996. But I think Wikipedia has got it a bit wrong. You've got to really get the other stuff in there as well. Who was instrumental in the early 90s in developing electric skateboarding, and that was the Gold Coast, Australia, without a doubt. Yeah,
That's why.
So
yesterday we was talking about this. That's why I said that was the picture, because we are saying what is the limit for us to ride it. There is no limit.
That's right. I love your name. I love it. No limits to ride. It is just brilliant. It just works. It's just a perfect, because at the end of the day, the technology will be limitless. Now I just can't wait to get this technology out to show you guys what's coming around the corner. So my God, the charging batteries as day of a past, the things are going to change so quickly, and I'm privy to that because I'm close to the nerve cell of what's happening and this technology coming out of somewhere. And I'm not just saying that. I've seen it. I've seen it work. I've seen what it can do and how it works. And it's just, you never have to charge it, boy. Never have to worry about a dead battery. You don't have to worry about anything. It will go. It will go within 15 minutes, and it'll go for 100 Ks. So that's all around the corner. Exactly.
Yeah, that is perfect, guys. If you see this is bringing something for us very new.
Yeah, we better wrap up.
Don't forget to subscribe in his channel because and put it because it's going to be lots of new things, and that is very good for all of us. Let's talk about another thing that I see you try it, and that is
the electric bike. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you now. Coming out of California is one of the best mid-range, well-priced electric bikes called the Super 73s, all handmade in California, all stainless weld. That's me on that there. I paid for that. I bought that from Ben Buckler Boards in Sydney. Thanks, big shout out to Ben if you're going to watch this one at some time. I've got the Afghanistan military look to it. I've done a bit of an overview on that, and I've got that kind of inspired thing. They are incredibly well made, incredibly well designed, and they're pretty funky. And yeah, I bought that and I ride it every day. Whenever I'm down enough to think, a bit of a flat day today, I'm going to go for a ride my skateboard, headphones on, bang, off I go. If it's another level, I'm a little bit down again, I'll get on this thing. And this is it's just so much fun. Yeah, it really is. So it's a Super 73 electric bike coming out of California. They're available all out throughout the world. They've got new models coming out now, which are more funky and more sort of like, this is, you can see I've got the whole Afghan inspired stuff, but it's awesome fun. 0 to 40 Ks an hour in maybe 7 seconds. So it's not super bitey, but it gets there. The automatic pedal assist is it's really precision. This is one wheel territory technology. It really is sophisticated build. It's not China. Even the battery systems they don't make in China. They're all made in California. They're 21700s. I'm getting on that little baby battery. I'm getting a 30 kilometer range, which is pretty impressive. And yeah, it's just awesome fun. So if you want to get an electric bike, you don't want to spend big bucks. Yeah, $3,000, $2,000. It's an amazing bike. The Super 73. The other thing, there's a new bike, an EB02, coming out of New Zealand, which is about $8,000, and that's the one they've sort of modelled on the Yamaha. No, sorry, the Honda 90 step through. That is they're using on farms, and they've just sectioned them off for the New South Wales regional area and the New Zealand special forces, and that's a two-wheel drive. It's front and back. It's a two-wheel drive electric bike. EB2. I'll put a link down below. I'll give you a link. But that's a $7,000 bike. But this is just Goldilocks. It's just the right type of bike for a funky ride down, on Broadbeach, Gold Coast, St Kilda. In London.
I tried to buy one for my wife.
Oh, she'd love it. Get the Super 73, the new Z3. It's got the big red seat. Yeah, the white frame. It's so cool. Well, Casey Neistat got their first. Of course, another guy over there, a very famous YouTuber. He developed that front headlight. and did the whole design of that bike. And yeah, it's nice. So yeah, as we get older, we don't want to walk. We want to look after
Yeah,
your
but
joints. So.
the problem is my wife has a big accident, and she
Oh,
has a
really?
problem with his knees, and she's always afraid to go have an accident with the skateboard, or because it's easier to go
Has
down.
she had an ACL thing or operation, or is it
Yeah,
more of a knee replacement?
the operation is she has what's the name,
Oh,
something
yeah,
in his
yeah, like
uh,
a. But tell her not
it's
to worry, because I've got really bad knees. So from surfing and from surfing, skateboarding, A-grade squash, rugby league, I did so much sport in my life. I represented states and did stuff and everything, and my knees are gone. They're completely. I mean, I can walk okay and all that, but they're really. I can't run anymore. This is a first on the channel. This is the first thing. So my knees are ready for this. I'm going to need a double knee replacement in
okay.
some point in the next 6 to 8, maybe a year. So I'm going to document that double knee replacement. Now, I saw Tom Carroll, a famous pro surfer. I know Tom Carroll. He's a mate of mine. And we were talking the other day. He had the same surgeon I'm going to get. He had a full knee replacement, and so did Barton Lynch, the pro world surfing champion, had a hip replacement. Isn't it sad? We're all getting old. But these guys are only 50, and Tom Carroll's my age, but he had his knee replacement, and you get all the mobility, all the strength back. He's surfing, he's foiling, and with the technology today, with double knee replacements, I'll be riding again within about maybe 8 months. And I'll prove everyone that you can perform better with titanium knees. And I'll apparently be doing whatever I want. So that's a bit of a first there. So that'll be something coming up down the track as well. But yeah, so tell your wife that not a problem. My knees are not great, but I've hit them a few times, but she'll be fine. Electric bikes are totally safe. You don't land on your knee. You'll land on the handlebar and you put your foot out, but I would
That's why
recommend her.
that's why she want a bike too, because she said she has more comfortable, she's
Yeah.
with more comfort than in a skateboard.
I
Because
don't walk anywhere anymore. I literally, Nelson, I don't walk anywhere. I can walk. I did walk 4Ks. I walked all through. My knees were really bad in Venice. I walked for 18 kilometers in Venice for 2 days. I can walk and all that, but I'd rather not walk. I'd rather protect them. And I've delayed my knees for about 4 years. But it all happened because I slipped on a pair of Crocs in my driveway and I hit the ground and they smashed my meniscus. I didn't know. I was playing touch football and surfing. And then 8 months later, the doctor said, look, you've got the knees of a 70-year-old man. You'll need to get knee replacements. So that's not going to stop me though. And I'll be proving that's not going to stop anything. And yeah, it's just modern technology and science is pretty amazing. And, but yeah, your wife will be fine. But yeah, if she cannot walk and ride and get a skateboard, I haven't walked more than 100 steps in Sydney in the last 3 months. I love it. Yeah.
Now we go to the next question. What was the best moment for you in this year's, or one of the best moments for you in this year's of doing videos,
YouTube.
creating YouTube interviews, because you see that you have with Jack, you have with other guys
Yeah.
interviews. What was the most not most one of them that you say I never going to forget it?
Wow.
For you,
Okay. Yeah. Gee, I did so many last year. If it was
because
the year before, the year
because you
before, I
was
would
in
have
you.
said Europe. I would have said Europe for sure, and I would have said my trips and meeting probably Frankie Summer and the person who got me into this whole sport. Going to his shop and seeing him. Well, that was last year, but that was the year before last. But last year would probably be. Oh, Jimmy, think now. You put me on a spot. I'm trying to think. Getting a few worldwide firsts, that was really big. Like getting obviously the worldwide first unbox of the Eck wheel, that was pretty happy with that. That was the first time. Getting the worldwide unbox of the Transite board, the Carbon, that was really great. Plus, of course, being a presenter on the Eastgate Podcast UK on behalf of Jack and Suki and Minty, and interviewing Tom Paggart from New York, and also interviewing Paul Stallone. That was pretty nice. I think I've got a bit of like you, I've got a bit of a gift with talking to people and getting people to express themselves. So that was certainly a great privilege and a great highlight. And I think I could do more of that, and I enjoyed that immensely. Also, there was a couple of, what else? I'm trying to think what else was. There was a couple of night rides we went on where I did a really nice night ride with the group. That was really beautiful. I probably missed something important. Probably also the Super 73 bike. That was probably one of my highlights. I loved getting that and riding that. That was a lot of fun. And also getting out and meeting people. I forget what I do sometimes, and I just turn up somewhere and I honestly just go, oh shit, people do know me. And I do forget that people sort of think they know me because they see me on YouTube. And I sometimes just think I'm one of the regular guys in the group. Then I realize, oh shit, that people have watched my stuff, and that it's just such a privilege to sort of have an influencing role. But it comes with a great deal of responsibility and a great deal of pressure, because you've got to make sure you're reflecting the right images of the sport, and in being an ambassador to the sport is an honor, but it's also a great responsibility. Yeah, so that's probably the highlights of last year. Any world firsts I had: the electric bike, being an interview host and an interviewer on the and this is not this year, this is next year. So if you ask me this question next year, it'll be being interviewed by Nelson on the No Limits to Ride. I'm very, 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 very humbled. Thank you so much.
My friend, I'm very pleased to have you here. What was your first sensation when you ride the electro board?
Oh, okay, easy. The first sensation was the feeling of it was like Back to the Future. When you first saw Back to the Future 2, when he had the hoverboard on you went, oh my God, it's hovering. That was the feeling. But unfortunately, that my first experience on riding electric skateboard was the Big Daddy Street Surfer in Queensland, which was more like riding an off-road four-wheel drive Jeep. So if you take that out of, and that was an amazing experience, and actually meeting Mick Fanning and Joel Parkinson when they were young pros, amateur pros, was really amazing. But to actually ride up there, that was having the power under you was something quite weird. It was feeling like superhero stuff, a bit like X-Men or something. You have this Iron Man, this wheels under you. That's kind of explaining. I don't know. It's kind of what it was like. Yeah, pretty amazing.
Okay, let's talk about now. We're going to talk. I want to just say something. I think in 1 or 2 months or 3 months, I don't know. Lee from UK, from Apex Customs, they're going to release
Lee
on board. I hope that they make a special board for all of us. He's a special DJI. He built and has a YouTube channel. If you guys want to see him, he's very special for the community. And Zach, he created lots of things. Now he has a new board with 4-wheel motors. You have to go and see his channel.
Zach's done he's done all the off-road trails and digging them out and putting bridges across. I had a look at Zach's stuff, amazing stuff.
I think that is very important for us to always bring these guys here to the channel, because they do lots of stuff for all of us. Jason, I have Jason in a special place, because Jason, when I have my accident, he was one of the first persons who says in the channel and talk a little about me and say, I hope that is going to be better, because the accident was very strong. And
I know. You recovered so well, Nelson, and also your mental state is so incredibly strong, because once you have a fall, like you have an accident, you really, it can give you heebie-jeebies after a while. But you've you're incredible. You're incredible testament to the power of the mind, because you've got to get back on the horse straight away.
I love this. Believe it. I love it. Like you, my friend. We love.
I know.
So
I'm going to do a big shout. I'm going to put this whole video on my channel, but I want to also do a big shout. I want to get this to grow. Your channel's going to grow, and also, this is I know how much work goes into this, because I don't have any life, and I do one video a week, and I cannot believe what you do. So this is an incredible reflection on the patience of your wife and family, and the enormous attention to detail you've done to create such an incredible.
The important is us, my friend. The important, I love doing this. I'm loving speaking with you, because that is not. There is lots of guys who have everything write it. I don't write nothing. I always tell, the questions what comes from me. Sometimes I have a paper, I going to see it, and I do, but I try to look like two friends speaking in a
Yeah,
microphone.
exactly. People are walking around at home now, making cups of tea or getting ready for bed. They put their heads, they listen to it. They're not even watching it. They're just listening to it. It's like a podcast. But that's cool because that's what we need to do. We need to information between the countries have got to get shorter and smaller, and we've got to make sure to really lend our knowledge base and make sure we create stuff, especially in Australia, what's happening with the whole legalization in New South Wales. I'm pushing very heavy for the next few weeks on that with a guy called Brendan, who's a councillor here in government, and we're going to work very heavy to get the legalization started, because this is getting beyond a joke. There's so many things that shouldn't be legalized that this is one thing that would help infrastructure of cities and help transportation, help health, it'll help mental health. And for a small price, the price of these things, $2,000 for even a nice board, is nothing compared to the benefit you get from writing these things, from health, from mental health issues, from from saving money, from saving traffic. And it's just got to be accelerated at the highest level. So we're trying hard, but the industry is moving slow, but also the technology is moving fast. So it's a very slow moving buffalo, group, and the slowest one is the one that's dragging us down. Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on it, but I think we're going to get there then.
So now we're going to this. I always do this. Is like I'm going to make some questions. You give, maybe maybe you don't know.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to give me your opinion.
True or false? True or false?
Yeah, no, it's not true or false. But
sorry.
no, I when I bring this
choice.
guys, I know that Jay Boston, they know him. I know that you know, and I know that Scott and everybody knows it. But I want to listen to your opinion, because I think your opinion is very important for the people following you.
That's wonderful. So, thank you.
First of all, dope grip tape. Do you try it?
I did a review on it. Now, look, I'm not knocking it. The guys in Germany done an amazing job. I think it's a really interesting concept. I did a full review on it. Thank you to Ben Buckler Boards. I got it from them for free. I think, look, my opinion is, okay, I felt like I was actually riding the dope grip and not the board. I felt like there was some barrier between me and the board. There was a bit of a delay, I think it does work for the right situation, and I think it's great. But for me, I like to move my feet a little bit. I like to shuffle on the board. I like to position like on a surfboard. So it's a bit like riding a surfboard with Velcro, and that'd be very hard to do. So I find it, for me, it wasn't as pleasuring as I thought it would be. But certainly, that's the only negative. But the positive was it was incredibly responsive to the bumps on the road, and it looks sexy. It looks good, So I've done a whole review on the whole installation. I spent, literally, I nearly wrecked my back bending over with the camera above doing the whole thing, but I did love it. I've got it on my own four-wheel drive, and I'm still riding it. So yeah, it's good. But I personally think, it may be a tad overkill. Maybe you don't need all that. But then again, there are people that live in areas that's really rough that would work well. But hats off to the concept, hats off to the idea. For me, it didn't grab me as well as I thought it would. Yeah.
I think the dope grip is I always share my opinion too, but dope grip for me is very good when you go for a competition.
Something right, like yes.
Because you can track. They're going to put it out now for. They're going to put it now for the one wheel. For the guys who make.
I agree.
For the guys
you're not shuffling. You're not shuffling your feet.
Yeah. When you go to trailer, you need to have your feet stuck to the board.
Yeah.
And then I think that is very good. I think for you to move your feet like me, I like to move it too, like you said it, that is not going to be the right grip tape for you. I think it's just for you when you have
That's right. That's why I put it on my four-wheel drive Onan, because that's a beast of a thing. It's 8,000 watts, and they're going to take my Hill 3 in like 40. It's literally it's an animal. It's a beast. It's an old-fashioned thing now, but it's like having an old combi from the 60s. I'm going to keep some of these old boards because they'll be worth something one day. You never know. But yeah, for me, that works well on that because it's a hub motor. It's four-wheel drive. It's very bumpy, and the dope grip worked really well for that. Yeah, in that situation, brilliant. Yeah. Yep.
I'm going to answer to this person. I don't know. I think he's Portuguese. I don't know his name.
Oh yeah,
But
physics.
yeah, I'm going to answer you like this. Yes, it's expensive, but that is. I'm going to tell you, like me as experienced guy. You are right. It's expensive grip tape, but that is a special material from made in Germany that not
Yeah,
comes from other country. That is very special, and
yeah,
I can tell you they put lots of work in that, and that is for a special. That is not for you to like Andreas. If you want to surf in your board, you have to move your feet. That maybe is not going to be the perfect grip tape. But if you want to go to a ride, through a ride, to a race, if you
mm,
go to off road, if you want to be aggressive and your feet have to be on the board, you don't
mm,
want to lose the control of your feet. I think that is a fantastic grip tape because
it is. Yeah,
it's going to protect you. I think he's going to sell a lot with the one wheels because
yeah.
the guys who make trails off roads they're going to love it. But is a different one. Is a different grip tape that we are used to. That's
I'll
why.
tell. Yep, I agree. And you know where it'll be perfect? I will buy a whole set again because I got that first set to. I wish I'd done this before. So I'm going to put it on the Eckmobile, the Eck wheel. Sorry, the Eck wheel, which is the big planetary gear in four drive. Because that I do need grip. And I haven't got a foot guard on that. Like I saw your foot guards on the you hook your feet in. I definitely will put it on that because that's where I want the grip on that thing because it's such a beast. You know, it is so powerful. It's like a motorbike without handlebars. So I think the dope grip will be perfect for that. You won't need the cushioning because of the pneumatic tires, but for the grip, I think that'd be brilliant. It wouldn't need to have straps. I think it'd be really good for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question too, that is made in Germany. I give you 100%. I live here. They
Yeah,
are
they are. The Germans. Yeah,
yeah,
incredible.
they are about 100 kilometers from my house. I know Matthias, I know Tommy, Tobias, the two of them, and I can say everything is done here in Germany. It's not a problem. If that is not good product, I'm going to say it's not a good product. But that
Yeah,
is a product made from one guy. He is a rider. He makes competition, and he created that for guys who make competition.
yeah, yeah,
That is not a normal. Uh, but that is my opinion, and I respect everyone's opinion. Uh,
yeah,
but I want to answer that nobody thinks, and I'm not. I'm like I said, everything we talk here, there is no money in the middle. Nobody wins
yeah.
money. I don't need nothing from them. They don't give me nothing. They don't give nothing to Andre. We
Mm,
sometimes we spend all time to do. But I think he's I see him give him some products as offer to lots of guys, and I say, okay,
yeah,
that is a community guy. Why not give him something? Then we
yeah,
go to another one,
mm,
Lazy Rollings,
yeah.
the
Now,
jacket.
yeah, I haven't got one. I know Daniel's is Daniel, isn't it? Daniel's doing some incredible stuff
Hmm.
there, and hats off to Daniel. I haven't actually corresponded, met, or dealt with him, but I know he's been very big crusader for not only safety and health, but the latest technology from drones to Baja boards. He's got a great shop there, and he's doing a wonderful stuff there. It's Sweden, isn't it? Sweden, is it
Yeah,
all?
he's a very big community guy. I tell you guys
Yeah,
because I see that he gives
sponsors a lot of
lots of
stuff, and
response
yeah.
of lots of stuff, but lots of stuff. Huh? I know that
Yeah,
is
I
good
think.
for his company,
Look, I
but
think. Sorry, you go, Nelson. Yeah,
yeah, it's no problem. You can speak.
I was just going to say that. I think for me, the experience of my riding, I don't fall off at all, hardly at all, and I do push it really hard. Yeah, I've slid those
Hmm.
boards around. For some reason, I think when you do it for so long, you tend to it's second nature. Like when I'm on an electric skateboard, it becomes part of me. It's part of me. I actually been doing this since like tic tacking when I was
Hmm.
11 in 1960 or 8 in 1969. So for me, I very rarely fall off unless there's a failed equipment, unless there's a problem with the actual components, and that has happened sometimes on the early Onins and stuff. But I don't fall a lot, so I don't put a lot of emphasis into padding on the jackets. Mainly just my knee pads and gloves now because I'm filming. I actually hold I've got nowhere to protect myself, so I usually scratch my hole. That's how I did that hand there. But yeah, I use gloves and pads, but pretty much I don't wear any padding on my jackets. It's summer here, and I'm generally a t-shirt like this, or yeah, I've never really hit myself. But then, having said that, that is, it's like going to have a play with a golfer who's pro golfer and saying, well, how come you're not losing your balls? And I've lost like 20 balls, and yeah, I'm not saying that amazing, but yeah, I just don't fall off. So I suppose I'm very lucky like that. Yeah.
So let's talk now. I'm going to give you some names, and you just say what is Baja board.
Monster. Yeah.
Okay, La Croix.
Sports car.
That was good. That was very good. That was very good. Involve.
Do you want one word or more than one word?
No, you can say it in one word, my friend. I think that's fantastic. Involve.
Yeah. Evolve. Style. Yeah.
Okay. Now we go to bioboard or bio.
Revolutionary. I don't know. Yeah, next level. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I haven't actually seen much of it. So I'll be honest.
I don't see it. Baja board I have seen 2 times, and bio board I see it 2 times too. Then I don't know so much, but I think there are crazy boards, and they are like insane. Then what you think about the companies who close the doors, like Busted Board, Mellow Board, Jason? There's a Nation. What do you think? What
about the ones that? What about the ones that should close the door, like Jed boards? Sorry. Someone close the door. Close that bloody door. Somebody.
Yeah, but what is happening to these companies?
Sorry, Warren Jordan and the team out there. No. Well, Zillboard didn't even get the door up, but he's going to get there. The board will come open. I'll talk about Zillboard in a second. Generation 2. Okay, yeah, look, these companies have been, let's face it, Mello had an amazing product, and unfortunately it was just too over-engineered, a bit like Boosted. So the problem with these boards are, you've got a fitness for purpose, right? Under this, any product has to have its balance between componentry and quality and price. And I think Mello was a great product, but obviously they put all that money into that huge technology, and then of course it ended up being just a hub motor board, and that's all it was. And it got surpassed by technology, surpassed by just the evolution of the electric skateboards. Then you have a situation like Booster Board, who I've got a Booster Mini. I was going to brought down to show you my Mini X. I'm doing a whole video and an overview on that. I'm putting new wheels on it, everything. Now, with the Booster Mini, or the Booster boards in general, they're a beautiful board that had like a centrifugal slip diff. That the drive system on that was so advanced that no one even knows how it works. It was that complex, and very cleverly done, and there's nothing like the torque of a booster board up a hill. You keep pushing, it'll keep going. It's incredibly designed the way that curve is on the speed controller. But you look at the battery though, if you peel the battery back, there's a motherboard on the battery about that long and that wide. It's the most overkill BMS I've ever seen on any electric skateboard. Hats off to Sajay and all the team at Booster, but they must have spent a whole day just plotting it, and then 16 weeks designing it. It's got like a date stamp. It knows what you're doing, where you're going, how far you've ridden, when you haven't charged it, when you have charged it, how long you charged it for. If you didn't charge it, it's got a memory base in that BMS that's just ridiculous, which is half the problem why the batteries failed, right, on those things. And I've got a whole video coming how to possibly fix those boosted battery fails. But so those companies, I think, went too big, and they didn't reinvest. They basically put money back into new stock, and kept pumping it out there, and didn't reinvest into redesign and changing simplistics, which Evolve in a way did with their GTRs. They changed the batteries, they changed the curves, they changed the speed controllers, the eco mode. So they've done the right thing. Jeff's done the right thing in doing that. I think Boosted failed to see that big elephant in the room. And what do
you think about maybe they don't listen, the guys who close it,
customers.
Maybe they don't listen to the customs and to the
100%.
YouTubers who said, okay guys, maybe you can change this, or maybe you have to listen a little more about your customers and about your YouTubers, because the guys who make like you is like you giving a recommendation to the guys, maybe you change this, or maybe you can you
Yeah.
can do something new. And I think the big problem from these companies, they just stuck to this is my idea, and I don't
Yep.
want to listen to nobody else.
Hundred
In
percent, 100%. In fact, I'll go further. I'll even go further, Nelson. Like they're arrogant to the point where they don't want to listen. And I've had so much feedback I've given them. Specialized. I mean, I'm an engineer. I'm electrical fitter mechanic. Work for military projects. I know this stuff backwards, and I've given some advice even on later stuff like the way that that a urethane goes on a direct drive. You shouldn't have the hub coming through the center, pulling the inside of the stator and making the rotor pull. So if you tighten that too much, like on the trans sites, they actually get hot. So things like they're going to redesign the way so when it screws on, it doesn't have a center hub pulling the inside the stator. It goes on the outside. This simplistic engineering ideas that the Chinese are very good at doing. They're very good at manipulating and changing. When boosted, mellow, I mean, whether they're standing behind their arrogance or their cockiness, but they weren't listening to feedback. And I've given up giving feedback. The only companies that listen to you and when you give feedback, I hate to say it, and I'm not saying everyone, Milakwa maybe and Baha might be doing that too, and Tramper, but I know that the Chinese, they listen. And why do they listen? Because they don't speak English very well. They need ambassadors. They need people out here to have the cool, they know the whole thing, and they listen. I mean, look, like on board, Viril, Team G, they all, Vestar board, they all listen. When I give feedback and Scott Davis gives feedback, they listen, they change, which is mind-blowing. So that's why they're going to get the edge. It's just going to evolve more and more till the Chinese are getting from feedback from writers and pro writers like myself and people who do this for a living, they're going to get better and better. It's just like being coached by a very good coach. Of course, the team's going to win. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I think that was a big problem. Let's go to another one. Is like one wheel. Do you try it?
One wheel. Yes, I've got one video of me riding it. I lose it down the bush and it goes into the creek. And look, I did ride it successfully first time, and I loved it. But again, I'm a surfer, so you don't have that feeling on a surfboard. You're not standing horizontal, And the thing I don't like about a one wheel, or for that matter, a unicycle, I'm not knocking it because a lot of good friends have the unis, is that you're straddling something, Nelson. So you're straddling something, so it's a very easy trip. And what happens when you trip? You flip, and your head weighs as much as a bowling ball. So when you dive, if you fell off, your head will go first. So if you're straddling a bike, straddling a fence, trying to climb a fence from a bull trying to chase you or anything, you're going to head first on the ground. So on a skateboard, you're actually in prone position and you're actually 4 inches off the ground. And when you fall, like Usain Bolt, you'll just slide like this. So to me, I don't want to put anything between my legs where I'm going to flip, So for one wheels, I'm not a big fan of one wheels or the unis, but
Unicycle.
Unicycles, yeah. They are great. They're great technology, but also
I think the big difference is the electric unicycle. There is machines who are going very fast, and by the one wheel, you're not going very fast. You're going. The maximal is 28 kilometers per hour. That is not so much. Then I love one wheel. Everybody knows
because you've got a one wheel, haven't you?
Yeah. I have one wheel. I ride it a lot with the guys. There is a guy here now that is Yuka. He's a professional rider.
There he is. Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
He lives in Germany and in Switzerland. He's always doing something very special, and I've
seen his stuff. Incredible, up and downstairs.
That's what I say to everybody. If you're going to buy something, all of you, if you're going to buy something. Yeah.
Exactly. Scott Davies is saying it's a death wish. Well, he's had He's sold 2 one wheels. You tried to sell me one. I said no.
I see his review when he buy the one wheel, when he goes to the shop and buy the one wheel. But what I tell you is like this, my friend. For all I tell to the guys who are coming to the channel now is like this: if you're going to buy something, there is a small paper inside. Or maybe sometimes not that is like the safety. And if you don't know everything, you have to go to the channels like Andre, like Scott, like Jay Boston. These guys, they make reviews and they
Yep.
explain you everything what you
Yep.
need to
Exactly.
know. Then sometimes when you're going to ride it, because sometimes the people don't know what they are doing, and they just ride it, right? Oh, that is just control, and go straight away. No, that is, you have to know how to ride it. You have to have a little experience. Don't go too fast in the beginning,
Yeah.
because that is lots of people think that is just you just have to go give gas in the control and everything is fine. There
Do
is
you,
lots of
that's
things.
There is. And one of the biggest things I tell people when they get an electric skateboard, and this is what I say to people, right? This is where most of them fall. And this is where most of them break their elbows or they break a shoulder, a collarbone. And it happens all the time. Is when you're going flat, fine, you can accelerate, brake, right? They go around and they get confident. Then what happens, you get to I'll use this example. You get to an area where you're coming down from the road into like a gutter. You come up the other side, like it's usually a crossroad from a footpath or whatever. You're essentially going down and then you're going back up, right? So what they do, they accelerate down and they brake and they accelerate out of it, and then it just jerks and they just fall off, right? Because you can't, not even I can accelerate in a big dip. Like what you do, you accelerate, right? I tell them this: accelerate all the way, take the accelerator off, just use gravity right through, gravity, and then and then when you're up the flat, then you accelerate again. So the idea is you use the gravity and the roll of electric skateboard as a normal skateboard through those very bumpy areas and just roll with it. So it sounds like a song. Just roll with it and don't try and accelerate and jerk through uneven area. And that's one of the biggest things I teach people, and they don't fall off then, because that's where they always will flip back and try and accelerate. And then, when I see a gutter or I see a crossing, I just go accelerate to about 15 k's, back it off, and I just roll through and brake. That's
yeah. Then I want to ask you that I don't forget is like this: scooters.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Well. Is this a model, an scooter model, or it's just a scooter generally?
Scooter in generally. What do you think?
Okay, that? They are brilliant. I think they're going to. Okay, they are incredibly. They're incredibly easy to ride. So anyone can ride a scooter. From my mother, who anyone could ride it and jump on a scooter to a certain degree. The only problem is. I think with pneumatic tires and stuff with punches, they are an absolute pain, because if you've got to take the back gearing off, you've got to take all the stuff off. And in the end, I've had a couple of scooters here for a friend. I end up putting the honeycomb wheels on the back that you have to take it all apart. Honeycomb goes on. It's kind of nasty to put on the hub, but you do that. And then you keep the front one as a pneumatic tire. But generally, I think there's a great service for those. And I think that's for the inner city and for people who are in suits and don't want to, you've got a bit more protection. But, in terms of and I rode a Lime scooter around Germany in Berlin. I actually hired one, and I rode to the wall, the Berlin Wall, and I rode back, which how far that is from the main city. I think I got charged $140 euro because I went out of the main zone. I ended up going into some. Oh, it was ridiculous. I could have hired an Uber for the whole day with a driver. But, I must say, those Limes were pretty safe. They felt pretty good. And I had a good, 4 or 5 hours on it. And I must say, for people who are not confident, maybe a bit overweight, maybe who are not, great on balance, they are good. I think they're okay. But in terms of hiring those out and people getting drunk and having injuries, this is the problem we're having, because Lime can't exist anymore. I mean, it's got to go, because people are just having too many injuries. It's just ridiculous, They're drunk. These people, I don't drink at all. But if you drink and you get on these things, you're going to kill yourself.
Here in Germany, we are trying to do like this. The idea for us to the state is like this: if the guys, what we are giving the proposition is like this: let's be legal. The people who are going to ride it, if they do something wrong, if you have a license from car or a license from motor, you're going to lose it. Like when you are riding a skateboard.
That deserves.
Yes,
that deserves one of those, and deserves. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like everybody have to be careful not to do some stupid because they know they're going to lose when I'm
Take
riding my skateboard.
responsibility.
Yes,
Exactly. Have full responsibility when
yes,
you're on
that's
that
why.
thing.
Yes, that's why we
Yeah.
say let's do it like this, and we are against. I'm one of the guys who are against this to rent this e-scooters
Yeah.
to rent. I think that is the stupid thing there is, because I see lots of people who don't never ride it in his life.
I
They
know.
are with his girlfriend, there is with his kids, there is three
I know.
persons in the same e-scooter. I think that is so, for these guys they can do everything, and for us, yes, yes, that's the problem, because the state wins money with that.
Mm.
That's the,
It's
the
all
big,
money. It's all money.
yes.
You're telling me they're going to legalize in Sydney? They had a trial of Lime scooters at Manly, yet they're making it illegal to ride electric skateboards with professionally trained or very experienced riders who are abiding by the rules, staying on the footpath or bike lanes, and they let any Tom, Dick, and Harry morons get drunk on a Friday night and take their girlfriends out. We had more brain injuries in Brisbane for the 4 months they had the Lyme trial there. More, the neurosurgeon hospital said he had literally 14 days of solid operations on people hitting their heads. They don't get it. Politicians, you cannot legalize these things, but then not legalize professional, responsible, safety precaution riders of electric vehicles. I mean, I can't see. It's a double standard. It's crazy. It's just ridiculous.
I think we are losing we the guys who ride us. We are the person who ride every day. We are losing with these stupid persons, because
Yeah,
these
I
stupid
know.
persons, they are doing silly things, and we're going to pay the
Yeah,
price for them.
they reflect badly on us. And
Yes.
that's the problem. And so is the skateboard guys, the flick guys, the scratching guys.
Hmm.
They reflect badly in the cities. The cops
Hmm.
are always... So when they say, oh, another guy, another skateboard, that's why I like being older, because when I ride
Hmm.
my skateboard, the cop will go, yeah, okay. They don't really care because you're an older guy. And, I think that there's got to be some element of sensibility to the approach of electric vehicles. I think at the moment it's a wild west. It's just no one knows what's going on. Everyone's doing their own thing, and I'm hoping that these group rides get a bit smaller, because the group rides are great, but they do attract a bit of attention, especially lights and bright lights and flashing and music and all that. I'm not against them. I think they're great, but I think they are probably counterproductive in some respects to what we're trying to do. That's why I do a lot of solo riding myself. I just get out there and sneak under the radar and all that. There's nothing better than a ride with your mates. There's nothing better than going for a ride and having fun and all that. I agree. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. No, the other question I forget to ask you, then I'm going to ask you now. That's why
Sure.
that's the phone. Day or night, right?
Oh, okay. It's a really interesting question. I much prefer to ride during the day, because my eyes are good. I mean, I don't even need to wear glasses. I can kind of see you pretty good. I just need glasses for reading and stuff. And but at night, I must say, at night, I do need a little bit of extra sharp vision on the road and lighting. So I find nighttime, if I don't know the route, I don't know where I'm going, it's a little bit sketchy. And I prefer to ride where I know at night, and that is great. Eduardo and I from Transide did a ride 2 nights ago through the back of Balmain, through the restaurants. It's a beautiful, funky area of Sydney with all the arty people in those restaurants, Italian restaurants, and we went down to the wharf and the back way up, and it was just little lanes. It was spectacular. So I do love that, but obviously during the day I enjoy it because you can see what I'm doing, and it's a lot more fun. Having said that, the bad thing about riding during the day in Australia is our temperatures are pretty hot, and we get, Nelson, like 37, 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And I don't care what you say. I'm obsessive about looking after things, and I don't want to ride my electric skateboards where the temperature outside and the asphalt or the bitumen is like 75 degrees. You can crack an egg here, and it will slowly cook the egg on the road. I mean, it's a joke. And those wheels get that hot that you can't even touch the wheels. So yeah, I don't like, but in winter I come alive. I love the jackets. I love winter more than summer now. I'll go out ride during the day in winter. So yeah, so it's a bit of a mixed bag there. But traditionally, generally, I prefer to ride during the day, but I do like a night because it's I like the headlights and the fun of it. But yeah, it's a bit of both, really. I suppose it's a hard question. Yeah.
Yeah, like now I'm going to say again, guys, if you don't subscribe to Andres' channel, I'm going to leave all the links here in the
Oh, thank you,
channel. You're,
Nelson.
you're going to find everything from him. I'm going to leave the link from Scott. I'm going to leave the link from Jason and the guys I know. You can find them there. You can subscribe. That is lots of information for our community. That is
Yeah,
very important. If you want to subscribe here to the channel, please. If you want to leave a like for all of us,
absolutely.
that is very important for all of us. If you want to write a question for all of us or give your opinion, give us a very nice like. That is very important to the channel because it's not we're not going to win nothing, but the YouTube is going to put us a little more in first place for you to
Yes,
see it. It's not you
that's right.
think that we're going to win money with that. We're not going to win money. It's just because when you give a like, that is going to YouTube automatic. That is like a machine. Is going to say, okay, they ask the likes, then that means
Yeah,
it's good for
it's
YouTube.
quality content. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. And it's,
and
yep,
the
no,
YouTube is going to put you in first choice option. Don't think we're going to win money with that. That is just going to put us more close to you, bring you more information and everything. That's why
you,
I tell you, give a like, subscribe. That is very important for all of us and for
yeah.
you too, because then you're going to get more information from us. That's
Yeah,
why.
I'll give a lot of credence to that. Look, if you're watching this for the first time, if you haven't seen me before, or you've just stumbled across this video and met Nelson, look, this man is so passionate about what he's doing. He's such a great ambassador to the sport. He's the work he's putting in is 10 times what I'm doing, and I don't have any time to sleep or do
Oh, man,
anything.
I don't say
Oh
that.
no, it's a lot of work.
Oh,
And
we are
to
all
be
together in this. All of us, we are
so
together in this.
we're gonna get your look. It took me my first year. I had 100 subscribers. It took me. I had 50 subscribers for 6 months. 50 subscribers. Then I didn't care because I wasn't looking at it. And then suddenly I went from 50 to 100. The first year I only got 200. Like Scott Davies has done very well. He's just because he's in a time when they're all the boards are coming and stuff. So people get the right run sometimes. I had a really bad run and I didn't get anything. In the second year, I think I only got to 1,000 after 14 months. And I got my monetization, which I've just cut now. But to me, your channel will grow. The first part is so hard. I nearly thought, I don't care, I'll give up on this. But you will kill it. And I'll tell you what you're doing is incredibly revolutionary. It's amazing, Elsie. You should be so proud of what you're doing. And I will give you a big shout out on my channel. I'll put this whole video on my channel and I'll just a massive post on it and I'll put it all on Instagram and Facebook because not because of me, because I think you need the whole channel needs to be showcased. And you have done an amazing. Thank your wife for me. She's a very patient, very kind woman, and your kids. And
Oh, my
I tell
friend.
you what, you are a legend, and you are doing some incredible stuff. You are really.
How can I be a legend when I learned so much today with this interview, my
Oh, I
friend?
think that's.
Uh,
No,
uh,
we got a
that,
lot more.
that's why
We'll
that
network. We'll have a chat off screen, and we'll be talking more. I'll
yeah.
be coming to Germany next year. As soon as I get a flight over there, I'll be over there again, and we're going to do some
Don't,
really
don't,
good collab stuff. I've got some great ideas coming, some great technology coming, some gadgets coming to minimize battery management. There's a whole lot of stuff on the channel coming. Thank to Zill, and just on that Zill point, just before I sign off, the Zill board Generation 2 is going to come. It's going to be a very, very unique board. I'll just let people know there's only 50 to 80 being made ever. It's going to be like a numbered, like an Aston Martin. There'll be hand signatures. They are I can't say too much. They're like cobalt and graphite and air cooling intake suspension thing. The trucks are revolutionary, never seen before. The motors will be 0 to 80 kilometers an hour in 4 seconds if you want that. It's going to have a range of it's going to have a system that's not seen before in any way with its power and the way it works. And I'll have it on my channel at some point in probably about 4 months now because they've just got the trucks in and everything. I've seen the prototype, the gearing, everything. And it is going to be something that will hopefully always be remembered as something that was, oh, did you have a Zulu board Generation 2? Because they're like worth $1 million now. Something, I don't know. They're going to be incredible. So again, I'm happy for to spruik that, because it's something I've never seen before, and it will change once it gets out. People pull it apart, they'll try and copy it, and it'll change the whole industry. It'll go like that. So yeah, so that's coming up. So people have always said, "Oh, Zil never done," but he has actually done it, and it's coming. So it's very, but it will be only limited to a certain application number and hand signed. And yeah, I don't know if I'll get one, because they'll be probably expensive. They'll be about $4,500 at least, probably US. So there's a lot of stuff coming there. So that's all with that one. And look, Nelson, I can't thank you enough for the work you're doing, and it's just an amazing testimony to the to how it's changed over there and what you're doing.
I thank you very much. So, guys, if you want to see, that is YouTube channel, that is Instagram, that is Twitter, this is the TikTok.
That's wonderful.
That's
my office. That's my Zulu office.
Yeah, that's the next question. I'm going to make a question about that. That is the picture. Then you're going to see everything is work and everything. That's why I'm going to make you a question. Why Zulu?
Okay, good question. I should have started off that before the chicken or the egg with the history of skateboarding. Now, okay, I was actually born in Rhodesia, southern Rhodesia, which was an English colony in Africa, and my mum was English, and she was over there working with her father and mother. My dad was a white Rhodesian, and he'd been there for 4 generations. So I was born in Rhodesia, southern Rhodesia. There was a war in '67 where Mugabe got in. Mugabe was obviously correct. We were very beautiful to the Black African Mashonas and Matabeles. We loved the local people. We're not like South Africans they're lovely people too, but there was a problem with the South Africans and the Black African locals, but the Zimbabweans really loved the country, loved the culture, loved the people. But we're a small minority of whites in that country. The country was founded by Cecil Rhodes, and that's why it's called Rhodesia. It also had a great university, so a lot of Rhodes scholars went there, like very famous people, JFK, whereas Rhodes, all these people are Rhodes scholars. And we got out in '68. We went to England, so we went to England in '68 and '67, and then we immigrated here. My mum and dad, my sister Veronica, immigrated here on the Fair Star as immigrants to Australia in '68, when I was about 67, when I was about 7 or 8, 7. So that's why my heritage and my history is all about Africa and Zulu, and I love the Zulu nation, the Zulu, the whole essence of the Zulu, military, and how it works, and how it took on the might of the English army in 1879 and Battle of Rorke's Drift and San Luana, all that stuff. And I was only living about, at the time when we were born there, about 200 miles from Zululand in the Ngwatu Plateau. So my Zulu shields and my whole African heritage is part of who I am. So that's why if you see Zulu, it's Zulu. And look into the Zulu Wars of 1879, very historic stuff. And that painting on my office you see there is the Battle of Rorke's Drift, painted by a French painter 5 years after the battle. In that particular defence, it's the biggest ever single defensive position a military army has held. At 5,000 to 7,000 Zulu warriors, they won 11 Victoria Crosses, 11 Victoria Crosses for one action of defensive position. And that particular, there you go, it's beautiful. And that particular battle in 1879 prompted the world to, in West Point, in military, in Sandhurst Museum, in Sandhurst Officer Training and Kneeling, any military from America all around the world, they show that movie Zulu to show how a defensive position should be held by an army and how men should behave in the face of an enemy. And it's an amazing movie with Michael Caine, Sir Michael Caine, and Stanley Baker. You can get it on, I think, Prime or wherever. It's called Zulu. It's an older movie, 1961, showing the Battle of Rorke's Drift. And I went there in 1991 and drove from Durban to Ngwatu Plateau to Rorke's Drift, and I went to the battles site and stood there as the young soldiers stood there at 4:30 in the afternoon watching the Zulu 17, or there was 16,000 initially came in, and you could hear them coming like a train, hitting their spears. So those poor little English soldiers would have been frightened to hell. So yes, that's why my Zulu heritage is exactly where I was born, Rhodesia. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's why I'm putting here. Everybody who don't know it, a bit in geography.
Oh, beautiful! God, you are. Oh my God! If I'm at a company,
everybody,
you be my managing director.
Everybody is there, my friend. That you don't know where is that? That is in
oh my God!
Africa. That is
Yeah,
Zimbabwe is a great
that's
country
it.
because Portugal was in near with Mozambique and Angola.
That's right.
That was
And Rhodesia changed its name to Zimbabwe because Mugabe took over as one man,
Mhm,
one vote happened, and the country
mhm,
went back to the natural landowners. And of course, Mugabe was, not the greatest. He was a bit of a
mhm,
dictator, but he's ruined the country. It has Botswana, Victoria Falls. It has all the beautiful Inyanga, the Lake Kariba. It is the most. It's the breadbasket of Africa. It's the Ukraine of Africa. It's where you see Tarzan swinging from a rope. It is spectacular. It really is a beautiful country, but it's been really just destroyed by a bad government. But hopefully, it can come back. I have got 2 subscribers in Zimbabwe who ride electric skateboards.
yeah,
So that's,
perfect. Yeah,
I don't
if
know where they are there, but
you see
so
with
there we
the two
go.
of us, you know a little more about the world. That is
Exactly.
that's why this is so good. These interviews, you have to
It
know a
is.
little more about life, and Zulu is in history and everything. That is very important for us to know. And
Yeah.
if you see here, maybe you're going to see it a little better because in
There
the
we
other,
go. Yeah.
you,
And
I think.
and the Zulus weren't in Rhodesia; they were in Zululand in Natal, but that's
Mhm.
just further down where the purple is there. So yeah, but obviously a big part of my life. I saw the movie Zulu in
Yeah.
1971. I was obsessed by the movie. I was obsessed by the whole thing. I've read all the books, all the war manifests about everything, all the battles,
Mhm.
including in San Luana. So my office is a sort of a homage to the whole battle. And I've got in San Luana medals there. I've got the signed autographs from Michael Caine and Stanley Baker from the battle and from the movie, and I've got the big painting there I got from the Military Museum in London of the height of the Battle of Rorke's Drift. If you haven't seen the movie, you haven't read about it, it's the most it's spine-chillingly scary when you see the African Zulus. They're not like little warriors. They were like big 6'6" with huge regalia and with all their shields, and they're marching, and it's frightening. And those British soldiers were so brave to take on 8,000, and the 11 Victoria Cross has never been done again in the history of warfare ever. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great movie. So that's why my heritage, comes from Africa. Yeah,
Okay, my
so,
friend, we're
yeah,
coming to the end. I think
lovely.
that is the record of my channel because that was
I'm not
so fantastic.
surprised. I
That was
think I think
yeah. Always my interviews comes about 2 2 hours, but
Oh,
we
I
reach
really
for
appreciate this. This is so important because it's
for
I'm
us it's
talking.
3 hours and a little more,
Oh,
and the
that's
people see
wonderful.
here. That's why
Oh my
I think
God.
the interview was very interesting. So
Well, look,
I want to ask you something before. Then I'm
yeah.
going to leave for you all that you want to say. You can say it because that is for you today, my friend. The first thing, what do you like to happen this year?
What do I like that happened this year?
What you
Oh, okay.
want?
I like I like the fact they found a vaccine for the COVID. That's really important. That's one of the most amazing things. Whether I will take it, I don't know, but at the moment it's early days. But that's the first thing. Second thing, that I appeared on your channel. That's the most amazing thing this year. I'm so happy and so proud. And you actually have embarrassed me by just you've been too kind, and I don't deserve all this, but
No,
it's so humbling
that's
and I
kind.
appreciate it.
I'm telling you the truth. I don't like to lie. I when I bring someone here, I tell it.
Yeah,
I'm going to have an interview is going to be very bad for me because I know Jason from in a nation, and I think
yeah.
that's not going to be one of the best interviews of my life.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
have nothing against him, but it's going to be. I think that was very sad what he do to the persons, and it's not going to be so funny. But I'm going to
Yeah,
bring it here. I'm going to give him a chance to speak for all of
yeah.
it. And
Oh, that's good.
but
That's
with
good. That's
you,
good.
because with you, it's like I learned so many things today, and
Oh, thank you.
I think that the important thing in this community that we learn with each others. Always, we are learning every
Absolutely.
day, and that's why
You
I love to do this live streams because every new one who comes here, I learned something new.
absolutely. And you know what? We're gonna really gonna push your channel now. We're gonna get things moving. And guys, everyone, thank you so much for staying on to the end. And this man you're watching here, not me, is giving so much passion and energy to this sport, and you're always never be thanked enough. And thank you for watching to the end of this incredible marathon. But I do appreciate everyone watching and tuning in. I do appreciate. We'll get this on my channel.
You could look what the guys say for you, my friend. Look what they write for you.
I know. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I've got so many wonderful friends. I'm going to make sure I get the next few weeks back to everybody. I want to meet more people. I want to get out there. I want to go to Europe next year. I want to go to America the year after, once it's all, and I want to meet people and get them on the channel. And this is what I need to do. And this has only just begun. We've only just begun, Nelson. This is only just the tip of the iceberg. So everyone listening, I can't thank you enough. And Nelson, you are an absolute legend.
That was one of the best, my friend, interviews. I thank you very much. I hope that everybody see you. I hope that everybody today learn a little more about you, because
thank you.
I think you shown to lots of guys who make this electro sport. I think they don't know so many things that you bring today. Today was like a new class for everybody. The guys who think they know a lot of skateboards today, you show it to all of us. That is more that we think.
History, it's important. People got to be informed and know. And there's more to come. I'll do a documentary and I'll get you on the channel. I want to interview you on my channel, Nelson, and we'll go from there. No, it'll be amazing. It'll be an honor. It'll be absolute honor. So we'll do that.
I hope to see you again here. I hope to bring you again. I hope that you have lots of success. I hope that you 4 guys in Australia make a day together.
Yeah, we will. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll definitely do it.
I can see your video. Maybe having a nice chat, the 4 of you together, changing ideas of different 4 different YouTubers, and that is going to be good for all of us, the community, to see that, because we have to be together. And that was like, the day was so nice for us to see so many YouTubers here that come to see you, my friend, and to say hello.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And that's what makes this community so special. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, look, let's organize it on your channel. Let's get the 4 of us on the channel initially. Set up a time, a couple of months, and we'll do it in a little, not a long one like this, but we'll have a nice chat, 4 of us and yourself, and then we'll go from there. We'll organize a collab in Sydney, Australia, or somewhere, Queensland or Melbourne. Yeah, be awesome.
That will be nice, my friend. I leave you with the last words. If you want to say something for the YouTubers or for the guys who are going to see later this video, I leave you with the last words.
Thank you.
Say to the world.
You're very kind. All I can say, everybody, is thank you for continued support. So not to me, but to Nelson's channel. Thank you for believing in what we're doing and trying to make it better. And I can't thank you for all the support. And just keep safe. As I always say on my channel, happy skating, safe skating, and we'll see you in the next installment. Thank you so much, Nelson.
Okay, guys. I wish you are going to go out.